transition.
Man, I really do sound like a dork on YouTube. Oh, I gotta work on that for
One in real life too.
Yeah, well, okay. You know what? That's fair. Thank you for shattering my self-perception. Keeping me honest there.
Alex,
Rap.
you still look so much prettier than I do through your camera. I'm jealous. I don't get it.
That's literally because he's not having to send his camera feed over the internet back to himself.
That's exactly.
I hope that's what it is.
I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing.
I know, but you look crisp. I look like.
We'll get you there.
You look really crisp on mine.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. No. Then never mind.
It's got to be the lighting, yeah, because
well, this is all brand new lighting.
That's what I'm saying. You've
brightened myself up.
Okay, enough talking about vain and trivial pursuits. Hey guys, welcome back to our Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons game. Here, in the Black Tower Stories, The Adventures of Athoria with the Silver Knights of the Mythal. So, that's D&D T... I don't know, that's a whole bunch of acronyms I can't figure out at the top of my head, because spelling is also one of the things that I can't do very well. So, we're just going to leave that on before I feel any worse about myself than I already did. Okay, guys. So, we have a Calum. Our Kelmac will be here a little bit later. It's one of the downsides of living in the far north in the middle of winter. Work and such. So, last session, we had chapter 108. You guys had spent some time around the house trying to plan what your next steps were going to be with this Volmalath and Marbaxus kind of situation, not really knowing what was going on. Feeling that conflict was going to be inevitable as the 24-hour time limit imposed by Izal slowly began to tick away, you guys received an unexpected delivery from Marbaxus, the High Exorcer, in the form of a rolled leather scroll, kind of made from human skin, that when you guys opened it, contained a letter of poor penmanship, a form letter, on his stationery, with a couple blanks missing, showing you, I guess, how little he actually thinks about you guys. Inviting you to his palace within, the Nine Hells, the first of the Nine Hells, Avernus, to discuss the issues. And he also provided a bizarre magical sigil that summoned an imp devil named Kazirik, a servant and sort of messenger figure for Marbaxus, who used some magic to take you guys to the Obsidian Palace there in Avernus, which is really more of a fort, or like a border port of entry into Hell. You guys spent some time speaking with Marbaxus, a little witty repartee back and forth, and eventually you guys, played some of the aces up your sleeves, and was able to successfully have pit Marbaxus and Volmalath against each other, using information that Volmalath possessed, but chose not to disclose to Marbaxus, to, you assume, keep that as an ace in his back pocket. That won you guys some little brownie devil points. And through some conversations, he has formally renounced the claim on Gorbecks' soul. Not for the least of which reasons that he's no longer entitled to it, because his name is no longer in the Book of the Damned. Go murder. But the issue now...
Murder with us.
That's true. That's true. Go get murder. It'll leave her in hell. You come back. Next thing you know, she's She killed Zariel and is now the queen of Avernus. But when we left off, though, you guys had just started to have the conversation about what you guys were going to do regarding returning the amulet and getting access to some kind of teleportation magic. And that's kind of about where we left off. So, jumping back in here on chapter 109, we open back up in the somewhat medium-sized throne room of Marbaxus as you guys stand on this, jet black floor carved in with infernal runes, a mostly circular building or room kind of surrounded by rough-hewn black columns, large slate table in the center dominating the room. As Vomalath's screams continue to dim as he's carried further and further down below you into the fort, Marbaxus again kind of wheels around this kind of massive, sort of heavily obese goblinoid figure covered in kind of rot, but slightly tattered kind of noble finery, and little anime style wings that realistically shouldn't allow him to fly, but who knows. As he kind of moves back and forth. Very well. So we have handled that bit of business. Now you mentioned the possibility to gain some additional services in terms of transport from my underlings. As I previously stated, you could borrow Kazirik for a time. But of course, we would have to decide what exactly you are willing to pay me for these services.
I do believe that you had mentioned there could be some form of service that we could be to you in the Court of Winter.
Indeed. As I said, there was an Arcanoloth. You could say it is one of the sort of devil creatures that collects lore. As previously stated, this one has information I would like to reclaim. Unfortunately, though, this particular Yugoloth is imprisoned in the palace of Queen Mab.
And so you are wanting us to simply free this devil of yours?
Indeed. With Kazirik in your employ, it would be quite easy for Kazirik to extricate this individual and return him to me. And then, as per usual, you can simply summon Kazirik when you need to leave. Obviously, we'll have to put some limit as to the extent you would be able to use Kazirik's services. But, provided you uphold your end of the bargain, and that would include returning my amulet to start, I think we could come to some arrangement in that regard.
Well, Reggie will look back to everybody. This deal does sound relatively lucrative. I would venture to the rest of you. What is your opposition?
As long as the details are confirmed, I do not oppose.
I wouldn't want to lock ourselves into a situation where we have to rescue the Arcanoloth. Because if it's a situation where it's too dangerous for us to do that, then we're kind of stuck again.
Well, then perhaps a backup plan. As you recall, I had previously mentioned that I could perhaps enter a sort of pact with one of your number that would bind you to my service to an extent. We could consider that a backup situation should the terms of the contract not be fulfillable.
As Lord Marbaxis says that, I look at Gorbeck because he had already mentioned that would be a Gorbeck thing. I don't know if that extends to.
Rude.
Oh wait, wow,
Yeah.
technical difficulties.
Battle Bab! Way to go!
We'll have to sit
Jace.
here for a second while I fix the 6-person one. So just talk amongst yourselves.
Yay!
Continue.
So to
Damn it, Kelmac, stop pissing on the furniture. But yes, just kind of speaking more directly, this would, mechanically speaking, this would be an instance where one of you guys would, kind of agree to become a demon-pacted warlock for your next level, should this contract fall through. Just so that way you guys kind of understand what it is you would be agreeing to.
Oh, see, I am personally already multi-level or multi-classed out. I already...
Come on! I'll level warlock in there.
Nah.
Why are we talking?
It would
about...
already fit your grim aesthetic.
No, but then the pact would be to a demon or a devil and not to the person that I would want it to be.
Yeah.
It's an option, Kelmac. It's not something that we're agreeing upon, but Yandere is deliberately asking Gorbek and waiting for a response because the devil originally asked Gorbek to do it. And then I don't know if that's extending to everybody out, like in character. I don't know if it's extending to everybody outside of character. I think it's an open invitation.
To be clear, Marbaxis doesn't really care who does it, but I mean, I suppose it would make sense that, Gorbek. But again, baby Gorbek just doesn't want to do this.
And
Maybe
that's
doesn't want to do that.
completely fine, but Yandere already tried to give Gorbek something that he thought he wanted, and it got thrown back. So Yandere is going to be like, you get to make this decision, and I'm only going to offer that to you.
Yeah, but you know what? Just thinking one thing and then it turning out to be something different is just part of Gorbek's brand. Whoever knows? I think Calum's the only one who ever really understood Gorbek.
I agree. But again, that would be Yandere turning towards Gorbek and just kind of insinuating with a look like, this is going to be an answer that you're going to have to give. I'm not going to stick you out on the line anymore because it's your choice.
Well, I'll look at Yandere, and then I'll look at Exalt. Ezal, frick me.
Part of your pact is that you have to say the name correctly.
That's not part of it.
Right.
We need to put a counter up somewhere that just how many times is Gorbek gonna mess up?
At the end of
Is
the
also...
campaign, I'm gonna
Drinking
go through.
contest. Alright, guys.
And then Volrid and Kelmac. And then I'll look at Caleb. You guys have done so much for me in so many different ways, and I don't know what to do anymore. I thought I wanted one thing, I thought I wanted this, I thought I wanted that. This helps y'all. I'll do whatever y'all need. And I'll look at Arbaxis and say whatever pact you think is just. Choose my words right there. Or orderly, or whatever you think fits. I'm okay
You
with
see Marbax is smiling. Goes, "Old creature you are, to give all the leverage to the devil. But, as I said, that is an option. Alternatively, if you wish to take time, I believe the dwarf mentioned the possibility of serving as bounty hunters in exchange. Perhaps that is a task your group could undertake, or perhaps just simply a task you would like to take from time to time. If you're still interested in my power, I would certainly grant it to you. But let's just say that I'm open for negotiations, though I will say I am beginning to grow quite tiresome of this roundabout. What is it you are willing to do? What is it you are not willing to do? And let us come with a bargain. I have a number of souls arriving by the minute, and you are keeping me from my duties.
Well, you mentioned having backup plans, and so I think what we should do is lay it out flat. We will attempt to rescue your devil. Should that not work through or fall through on our end, helping to bounty hunt a couple of souls would not be something that we would be remiss to do.
They gotta be evil souls, though. None of that got shanghaied into a bad deal kind of thing.
What sort of border security situation do you think I'm running here?
I look at Gorbecks.
But, very well. Let us structure this in such a way. If you are able to collect the Arcanaloth, that is fine. If, however, you fail to do so, we move to Section B. That would require either Mr. Gorbeck or, I suppose we should say, ultimate responsibility. Gorbeck would be responsible with retrieving souls who have escaped damnation. He is free to gain support from anyone, including yourself. He may even hire you to do some of that work on his behalf. Either way, someone has to be responsible for seeing the souls return to hell. If something should happen, and that work not be capable, I reserve the right to return the soul forcefully to the prime material with a piece of my help in order to enforce the contract. Naturally, that means you need not suffer any ill will or mistakes, so long as you don't fail to uphold your end of the bargain.
I just nod. I'm looking at Yandere. I'm just like, okay.
Can we have it in writing?
Of course. What kind of devil making contracts would I be if I didn't provide it in writing? The devil is in the details, you know.
You'd be a demon.
I don't think demons make deals.
Gorbecks.
No, they don't. They just kill people. And honestly, it's quite unfortunate that more people can't tell us apart. We are two very different kinds of fiends, you know. We may come from the same place in the world, but we're different.
Tomato,
So-
tomato, Exal, Ezal. Yeah.
I would tell you that from a name perspective, the difference between Izal and Exal is quite substantial. Names have a certain power, and if you use a phrasing of the name
Phrasing.
that is incorrect, it affects your ability to conjure the power associated. Still, Kazirik. I guess, yeah, boss? Start drafting. Shit. And he kind of like reaches over and like grabs this pen like in two hands. This is like trying to draft this. Yeah, shit, this one's always hard. I have to. Yeah. You see him like slowly start going. And it's weird when he says like dictation, he's taking this pen and taking it to this vellum, but you don't see any ink in the pen. As the pen like scratches the surface of the parchment, you see it's almost like blood seem to drip up and coalesce in the scratches. It is going through letter by letter and writing stuff out. Well, since it seems we may have handled that little bit of business, we'll get the signatures and then move on. Now, I would certainly hope to see all of you again. And he's kind of looking over at Gorbecks, and then you see him kind of look over towards Volred, kind of look you up one side now, kind of checking you out a little bit, smile a little bit in a little too familiar fashion.
Oh.
But who knows what the world holds?
I'm just gonna wink back.
And he kind of is looking over and he looks a little confused. I would be careful. You don't want to leave too much of an impression. On the day you do return here, you don't want anyone recognizing you. And as the long minutes kind of go by with muttered cursing from the imp, finally makes it through a series of documents that is ready for signing. We can go over like the actual kind of text. Oh, God.
Well, okay, we can say that we went over it and we found no need for loopholes.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I happened to look over at the chat right as Volwood posted his last comment, so I just shit. I need
To be fair, I didn't think you'd be checking that.
Well, I mean, anyway, so, but basically the terms are these. The understanding is you guys are going to go and try to retrieve an Arcanoloth named herein as Asgamel, who is currently imprisoned within the dungeon of Queen Mab. That, barring that, ultimately you would be given some jobs as a bounty hunter to reclaim lost souls. Ultimately, Gorbecks is responsible for retrieving those souls. But as long as the souls get reclaimed, it doesn't matter who does it. It's really just to determine like who gets punished if the souls don't get returned. And that if Gorbecks is completely unable to accomplish that, for example, he dies in the process of trying to reclaim the soul, then Marbaxus has the right to return Gorbecks to life, stamped, demon-pacted warlock style, and send him back to go and physically finish the contract. And that is essentially the terms. Anything major we need to call out?
How many souls?
After Gorbecks gets revived, is he able to claim him again and kill him afterwards, or does he keep him alive?
No, it would keep him alive, but he would, of course, remain with warlock levels. So,
How many?
but that is a good point.
souls?
It's a good question. Let's say 3 souls.
busy
Does
weekend.
it matter the level of the souls, like how difficult or not difficult?
Well, by their very nature, these would be difficult to track down because they've evaded hell, obviously. But we can say that there will be kind of an upper limit, and that's part of the reason why you're allowed to get assistance, because it's not assumed that you would have to do all of this by yourself. You might need assistance in tracking down some of these souls.
Not Gorbeck, he's so skilled. He managed to track us down.
Who knows? So, any other big questions? Cool. Then we can go through and start scratching down everything in the, blood paper. And then once that's done, Marbaxis kind of rolls it up, places a seal on it, and then hands it to Kazirik. File lives away in the archive. Like, you got it, boss. Very well. So it would seem our business is now concluded. Well, all that is left is for you to return my amulet, and Kazirik will be able to take you from this place. You may call on him whenever you're ready to begin your adventure within the Feywild.
Just to understand correctly, when we are in the Feywild, I would assume that means that he will disappear or leave to get out of harm's way. Will we simply just need to call his name in order to leave as well?
Indeed. Additionally, Kazirik, you could say he's embedded with your group for the duration of this particular contract. So, at least whilst you're there in the Feywild, he need not disappear all the time. He can remain, but of course he is limited into what support he can provide.
Understood. You ready to leave?
But a minute later, Kazirik kind of pops back up. Goes, all right, boss, it's handled. Okay, now, when are these sorry son of a bitches ready to go back to the Prime?
Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, good.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. And he kind of is like hopping down, heading towards you guys. All right, well, you guys have all done this before. Hold hands, don't care. Okay, and he goes to cast Plane Shift. Anyone resisting? Okay. Then with kind of searing heat and bright light, you appear wreathed in flames that quickly douse. Standing yet again in the living room of your house with singed carpet. Kazir kind of like looks like, oh, and kind of stamps out a little bit of fire. Sorry, it happens. Habits of the job, So that's good. You guys just let me know when you need me. Otherwise, I'll be around.
Do you just exist and not exist at the same time, or?
Well, no. I mean, I physically exist somewhere. That's obviously true. But, I have the ability to turn invisible and, pop off other places. And I'll just kind of come back when you need me, as the contract allows me to know when you require my assistance. In the meantime, I'll probably just look around. You may not be aware of it, but pigeons actually taste pretty good. And this being a city, there's quite a few of them, so I'm probably going to root around your attic for a little bit. So if you hear a little bit of scraping and crawling, it's probably just me.
We just found out we had that attic.
Glad I don't live on the second floor.
What floor are we currently on?
The
First
second
floor.
floor.
Oh, right, because you guys were in the communal living
we,
room,
we,
not
we didn't get the
entry room.
updated. We didn't get the updated map.
Ah, you're right. You're right.
I specifically asked for that as soon as we started.
I know, but I told you guys. I mean, also it's my fault for not following up, but I needed a list of your changes from the original map. You know,
Is the
doors.
kitchen
You
open
need
concept?
Oh
the
my
kitchen's in a
God.
basement, but it can be.
Yeah, the floor doesn't matter. Open concept's open
Just a
concept.
hole.
As long as there's no load-bearing wall.
It's the basement. It's all load bearing.
I mean, it's the foundation of your house. So I mean, I guess.
Listen, you can have beams and poles, okay? You can still kind of have an open concept fantasy.
We're not gonna get into the litigation of architecture versus structural.
Let me tell you about arcane geometry, okay?
I will smite
If we got
anyone.
Okay,
to
okay,
end this
okay. No
conversation.
arcane geometry. But what about arcane architecture? We can get into that too.
The
It
next
uses arcane
mage
geometry.
you put in front of us that tries to talk about arcane geometry, arcane whatever, I will smite.
You'll miss, but you'll try.
Yeah, next campaign.
No, I will
Aaron's just
smite.
gonna play it like a mage slayer just for those moments that he can. I took this feat just so I could smite this guy if he mentioned arcane geometry.
Okay, so we need to go to the land of Queen Maeve. One for you, Yandere, to help you do what you need to do there. And two, we have to bring back this Canaloth?
Conolith.
A Conolith. Okay. How well do you know the area there? I know you're not from there.
I've mentioned this before. I have no experience with the Court of Winter outside of just its inhabitants.
Okay. I don't know if you and Caleb want to see if there's maybe books in town that may give us more insight to how it may act there, dangers that may be present other than the denizens.
There must be a map.
The last court didn't really. It was mentioned that it likes to change. So.
I'm assuming, given the nature of the Feywild, any map we have will be very limited in what we can see.
And dated.
Just general information, but everything is subject to change.
Yeah. As Jandre would have told you, like, precise distance isn't a thing in the Feywild.
Yeah, but like, you could still put that on paper somehow.
Yeah, as long as it's like a puzzle, and then like you move the pieces of paper around as you go. Yeah.
That's still better than what we have currently.
Well, my intention was to go back to our library. Caleb, if you could find a way to get us back and see if they have any information there. But
most definitely, we can definitely go back, and we can go back at any time.
Well, I would need your assistance to get back. I can't just go myself.
So yeah, whatever you want to go, we can. We just don't want to summon our demon friend while we're inside of there.
Oh,
So
absolutely
keep
not.
that as a something to think about.
Well, it won't need all of us to go. We just a few of us to research. I would assume it would just be me and yourself.
Yeah, we could go head out whenever you're ready.
Any objections?
No, I think y'all two would be best suited for research on the matters. We will remain in town and see if there's something that maybe someone procured recently that may help us with what little assumptions we can have about the Court of Winter. Obviously, probably going to be very cold.
Well, I've already jotted down a good portion of information, at least that's well-known information. You'll find it in our archives, but sure, if you would like to look for additional information, you can.
Oh, I meant like, see, wondrous items, some like common things that might help us not be so vulnerable while we're there.
Okay. Caleb?
Gorbecks?
We can look. I just don't know of any where to look besides the library. So yes, that could be a first step.
Are you ready?
Yeah, good to go.
I am.
Good luck, you two.
Then I will create my circle and we will head up.
Okay. To Alaris' sanctuary.
Yes.
Okay.
Just do it right on the carpet. Already ruined it.
Just need to cut out the circle and just have that as the designated teleportation spot.
That's kind of what you get. Maybe. Because, see, really, the problem is you guys did it up on the wood floor when you guys should have done it down on the stone floor, because that's not going to catch fire.
Should have done it in the attic because we didn't know what that was.
Yeah, covered in dust, so everything can just go whoosh.
Yeah,
We're out in the yard.
Stairwell, right?
yeah, just have the demons teleport you in the middle of the yard. Crop circles.
That would be kind of funny, though, as if he teleported you guys at the top of the stairs, and so you guys go to land and just tumble down the
Ankle.
stairs. Yep.
Gorbecks.
Missed opportunity.
Gorbecks.
Ah,
We didn't give it back the amulet.
I haven't given him because it's still it's in the room or in the armory or the other thing.
Where we keep the cheese. Gotcha.
There's cheese in there.
Yes.
Don't eat all my cheese.
It's Gouda.
Real Gouda. Well, I think I'm gonna go get the guys, and then I'll come back here. So I think we'll try to get that, and hopefully by the time I'm back, I don't know if Kaylin will be back, but
It will probably be quite a while.
Oh, you
Maybe even a day or so.
Oh shit! I just realized.
You know how Caleb gets with books.
Volred, both ascending people went.
Ascended where?
Sending the people who can use this talkie spell from a distance.
What?
We have no way of contacting them.
Oh, they left? I wasn't paying attention. Are you sure
That we don't have a way of contacting them, or that they left.
that they left?
So they're gone. With a chalk on the ground.
Looks like a crop circle on the carpet.
Have you just been like zoning out?
He's been planning the open floor concept of your kitchen.
I think I take out this wall off.
I'm
Running around the house, just spray painting X's on stuff. This wall's coming out. This wall's coming out.
It's nothing but exterior walls.
I mean, we're not in combat right now, and do you not just zone out every now and then?
Usually when I'm doing something.
Are you zoning out right now?
No, I'm not doing anything.
You should try it. It's quite nice.
Like I would get in trouble.
Anyways, you said there was something wrong?
Caleb and Yandere left, and we have no way of contacting them.
Oh, so we get a little vacation.
Yeah, but like if something goes on here, we have no way of contacting them.
What's the worst that could happen?
Minor illusion, an image of just pixelated space invaders, but they're fey creatures.
Why didn't anyone stop them?
You know, I had a whole minute to think about it while he was drawn on the ground, but I didn't.
That makes it even worse for you because you were actively paying attention to that, weren't you?
I know. Man, I suck at this. Someone else should be like in charge of paying attention.
Well, it clearly is not me.
Kelmac, why the hell didn't you say something?
Because I assumed that we wouldn't need to ask them to come back, and they'd come back when they had something.
What if something happens here?
Why didn't we all just go?
As a demon could be watching us, we don't want them going there.
Yeah, but isn't it a bad idea to split up in general right now?
We are, yep, and we also have no way of getting to there. So,
As Volred says that, I'm gonna start walking out the door.
And I'm not going to stop him.
Bye, Gorbecks.
Be back later.
Are we still under the effects of that contract?
What contract?
I'm gonna also run back in and be like, my satchel, and run and grab the satchel.
Okay.
Oh, see, Gorbeck is under the effects of that agreement, so Gorbeck leaving without one of you two would be bad for Gorbeck.
But
No, we've solved it.
complete-
You've
Yes.
completed the contract. The contract is complete. No longer being chased. I'm under a new contract.
Well, you also provided that you wanted to kill, what's his face?
But that contract is null and void at this point.
He's not dead. It's 30 days.
No, because he didn't put that in there. I said I wanted to, but she said that she wasn't putting that in there.
Exal said what?
Oh,
It's Exal, like eggs.
eggs.
I'm just gonna call you Ego.
You got eczema?
Lego my ego.
When he's all gets grappled. Lego my
How
ego.
did you know my real name? It was Ego all along.
I know more about you than you could ever think.
Tell me your backstory.
I don't know
Go
what
ahead, let's
I don't know
secretly
what
hire a
contract
private
we're under
investigator.
anymore.
But yeah, I'll let the DM decide if the Geish. Yeah, with Geish.
That's I words wrong. I apologize.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was walking through the door. I wonder
Well,
how much this will hurt.
Where was our contract in anyway? That way we can. Is it under the campaign?
I haven't put it under any campaign. But
What? No, I'm talking. The one we made.
Oh, that one? That one?
Yeah.
We have binding agreement.
Yeah.
Assaulting party that would prevent any further harm to Gorbeck. So I am no longer under any harm from him. Prevent the party any aggression. Okay. And no notable signs of pursuit. X season. Technically, I'm no longer being pursued by them. The only thing that is still there is them pursuing me for, what was it, 8 seasons? Is that what we did?
Wow.
Basically, the contract's pretty much fulfilled other than the warranty period.
so he's no longer under the
I don't know how your
Geish.
gauge works.
That or there's just
no,
a
like-
lot less things that he could affect.
Yeah, it's like the gauge is still present because it's for 30 days or until you end it. He's just not supposed to violate the contract during that time. So, I mean,
Time travel in the meantime.
so I mean, Gorbeck is still generally forbidden from doing things that would cause problems for you guys. But yes, just the there's a little bit more room in it, I guess you could say, because you didn't specify a particular time period that the Gesh would end early.
Correct. Okay, cool.
So-
I mean, he can walk off as long as he's not inhibiting the party.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're walking down the street, singing "Do Diddy," and you think you want to, steal something from a guard, you might get a migraine.
And then what with this
I
new
mean,
contract?
Does him
from-
getting arrested affect us from doing our contract? Because the demon can just come and get him at any point. So that part would be done.
I suppose that's true. But anyway, you had a
Fucked up
question,
deal with
Gorbeck?
with the new contract with our
Lord Marbaxis.
Marbaxis, I was gonna say it
It's
wrong,
so fun listening to him try to guess names.
right?
Mine's Phil.
So with Marbaxis, is the party, are they tied to it, or is it me and them?
Well, so the thing is everyone signed the contract, so they're all bound to it. But in terms of the actual contract, in terms of enforceability, you're the one ultimately responsible for the payment of the contract. They're pretty much on there because they also get to use the services of Kazirik.
Because of Kazirik. But
Yes.
I
But
'cause my
but-
assumption was I'm taking the brunt of that. That was
yeah,
my
so
assumption.
like nightmare scenario, something happens, you piss off the party and they leave you, and now you are no longer able to complete the contract, or you're no longer able to save Azkamal. It's like, okay, well then now you have to, help people out. And the party, the PC, the other guys, they don't have to help you with that if they don't want to.
Sure.
But if you fail to reclaim those bounty souls, then yeah, that's you. But
All right. Well, I'm gonna head to pick up my boys, the boys.
the boys -1. So
I'm gonna have to keep bringing that up.
Mail time.
I love you. Yes. So, Magic Crew, or the Messengers, or the Senders, maybe. I don't know. We gotta have the name. The sending. Yeah, the send. Whatever. You guys arrive at Alaris' sanctum, near Silverwood. Arriving in the Astral Observatory, and being present. You guys were heading to the library?
Yes, I intend to go to the library to see if there's any loosely documented maps of the Court of Winter or any information in regards to how to survive there or exist in that general area.
Okay.
I will assist with that.
Okay, so let's see here. We're in the denizens. So that would mean your main bet would be to go and see Aeon.
Yeah.
He's the nimble right who specializes in knowledge retrieval and oral history. So he's the guy who pretty much is responsible for maintaining the database of all the information here. As I believe this is the first time you guys have, or I know this is the first time probably Yandere has spoke to him, because you guys normally speak with Auric. But the guy kind of looks like Mr. Monopoly, but obviously his skin is made of porcelain or ivory pieces with silver tracery. And as you kind of speak to him, telling you what he needs, he goes, "Ah, yes, the Court of Winter. It is one of the many courts. There's quite a bit to be just known about that particular topic. I'm afraid we don't have any maps of the area. Map is notorious for not allowing cartography and changing the realm if any maps leave. It's one of the many ways she ensures that no one is able to enter her domain. But that doesn't mean that our information is lacking entirely. What other information would you like to know?
Leandre goes back and repeats, I need either some significant locations, possible ways of surviving that are present in the prime material, any latent threats that happen to exist there besides just the general populace of the area. So just like general information on how to survive in the Court of Winter.
Okay. Very well. That's still an awfully broad query, so I suppose I'll start overarching, and then we can drill down into details should you require. And he begins to tell you a lot of the same stuff that you've already kind of picked up. He does tell you, though, the majority of the area, as far as we understand, is just endless fields and forests of snow. The single defining trait of which is that there are periods where the place looks absolutely beautiful, but occasionally there are snowstorms that brush through with jagged ice that have been known to strip flesh from bone. And so you really do not want to be caught in it, because that magic is really hard to survive. It tells you there are really only two main locations that you would have to be aware of. And one is Frostfell, which is a city that sits near the center in a valley that has been cut from kind of an ice glacier and is surrounded by lots of rivers and lakes. That is the single largest settlement, and it is governed by the Prince of Frost, or Prince Jack, as some people would tell you, who is a mercurial and capricious individual. Most people either love him or hate him, but they'll say he's a nice guy, fun-loving, but if you cross him, gets very, Red Queen off with her head kind of person. So the other thing, of course, is Ice Crown, which was Mab's palace that lies in the northeast, which you already knew. That place is a labyrinth of frozen tunnels. Most of the people who go in there never come out. And supposedly the entire palace is a living entity in that regard. But he does tell you that there are a couple other individuals you would want to know. One is Kyone the Snow Maiden, and tells you basically is a mighty wind nymph associated with snow, and her beauty rivals Queen Mab and actually serves as Queen Mab's number 2. You get the sense that this is the native Fae name for Azir. And then he also tells you that Aeolus, the North Wind, has a castle inside of the mountains that surround the area, and is responsible for a lot of the Arctic chill and the winds and storms that blew through the area. And they said, but one individual you might want to meet if you ever need safe haven is Old Man Winter, also known as the Yule King. Some people also call him Lord Kringle or Father Christmas. He is actually a figure in Fae lore, who is said to have a small demi-plane off in the forests in the western end of the land, and supposedly can fly through the air and has numerous other powers. spending one night a year through the Feywild, or in the Prime Material. But generally speaking, is seen as perhaps the kindest and nicest denizen of the plane or the realm of winter.
Bro, you're like a whole month late.
Am I a whole month late, or are you a whole month late?
Listen, my
We
first
cut
thought
out some
was Eric
shopping
is probably
episodes.
mad that we wasted a Christmas episode, but
Nah.
like other things, you could have just like pushed the
I've
button.
tried to do Christmas episodes in the past, and it never really works. Not shoehorned into a game anymore. But yes, as far as other hazards, he would just warn you that outside of Frostfell, pretty much everything else is wilderness. So one of the interesting things about the Land of Winter is how things can be both beautiful and deadly at the same time. So trust nothing. Is kind of the general feel that you get. Though he does warn you that Queen Mab is generally considered evil by most people, but says there have been numerous depictions of her that says that while she is a creature capable of great hatred and merciless, incapable of mercy, that other accounts show her as compassionate, and somewhat emotional, but also cold and calculating. So I guess it just kind of depends on which version of Mab you get. But you are told that she is insanely paranoid. And so any newcomers to her realm, she would probably know about. The biggest thing that you're warned about is to avoid the northwestern woods, which you've already been warned about previously, because that is where the Dark Hunt tends to reside. And that the Dullahan who travel in the Dark Hunt move quickly, they are merciless, and they don't stay dead for long. Oh, and says explicitly, if you ever do end up, they have an ability where when they damage you, they can force you to state your name, your true name. And with that information, they can speak your name and kill you. So be very careful, those of you. Never let anyone know your true name. And if you get in a fight with a Dullahan, you might want to bulk up your ability to resist charm effects and charisma, wisdom saving throw kind of stuff, because that would be a nightmare scenario if you got caught having to speak your name.
We're in danger.
Yeah. The sad thing is that is like legitimately a Dullahan's ability.
Dua Lipa?
Dullahan.
Okay.
Yep, that's the face that just said, okay, overhead, registered. Gorbecks over there going like, God, I'm really glad I'm not involved in that.
Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
We do. And how do we survive in this general area? Like specific clothing, or is there anything that you know in the Prime that would protect us a little bit better?
Would tell you cold winter clothing will protect you against most of the realm's issues. Biggest issue, of course, would be the snowstorms, because those actually can do cold damage. So without a way, and it can be quite a significant amount of cold damage depending on how bad the storm is. So that would be the biggest issue you would have there. So a good way to mitigate cold damage would help.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm good.
That must have been too small, so your mic didn't pick it up, Kilma. Okay.
Nope, I was muted. I'm good too.
Okay. So just double checking, since it's usually, if you're gonna spend any time, is there like one or two specific questions that you wanted to make sure you get asked after that primer, or get answered after that primer?
Not anything that I think would actually be relevant, because we've been told that there's not a lot of information regarding like the actual locale of Court of Winter. Just because the only other thing that I could think to ask is there any specific, not necessarily like floor plan of, what is it, Ice Crown, but like any points of interest for Ice Crown.
Yeah, you don't get a whole bunch. It mostly tells you the whole place kind of looks like a large, just conglomeration of icy spires. But there, you can find a little information regarding the dungeons of Queen Mab. Basically, what it looks like is they're these kind of open air, linear type dungeons. Almost so that, like, if you start at the start of the dungeon, it's one singular path and like might go through a hallway and then open into kind of a circular room that's open topped, and you might spiral down. Essentially, when you get the sense, it's less of a prison and more like if you were going through a guided tour where all of the prisoners are like animals at the zoo or the aquarium. So you would just leisurely walk through the dungeons and see all of the creatures that she has collected. And that's the sense you get. But you are told that it is guarded by some powerful elementals. So.
Oh, and then he mentioned something about the place being sentient, like the actual location. Is there any additional information that's provided on that? And that would be my second question.
Yeah, basically what you're able to assume is that the place is kind of like the Throne of Falling Leaves. It was literally raised by Mab herself. Her power runs through it. And so nothing really... So it would be very hard for something to go on in that castle without Mab knowing about it. And the castle itself is like an extension of her consciousness. So she could manifest spells anywhere within the palace grounds as if she were there. Yeah. So she got some crazy Archfey Sanctum spell shit going on there.
Maybe we should have researched this shit before we, like...
The devil's in the details, Full Red.
Me.
Hey, shut up! It's not too late to force Gorbecks to become a bounty hunter.
But we still have to go there anyways.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, who?
The only
John
other
Drake.
person on the live prayer.
John,
Okay. Well, like I didn't know who he was talking to. He could have been talking to.
that's fair.
the robot or whatever. You said, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
It's difficult to say. On one end, this is something that we must do. When I say we, I mean Yandre and myself. On the other hand, it's beginning to feel we're a little ill-prepared. That does not suffice that we have a lot of time realistically to plan or prepare any further, given the sense that they are still summoning the hunt to attempt to find us. I don't know.
I do feel like all the information that we are getting is essentially telling us that it is something that we probably should not be undertaking. At this moment, at least. But, again, just like you said, I don't want to be cornered by the hunt when I could have taken them out another way. And that's my concern about not doing it now as well. I think we should take this information and see what the others think.
Agreed.
Whenever you're ready, I'm good to go.
I'm ready.
And take us back to Master Valerian's tower. Well, after
Okay.
I'm going to message him this time and tell him that we're coming through.
Messaging is happening. It's happening. Is it the message? Okay. Yes, and you pop back to Valerian's tower. Not sure if you want to speak with him at all before you guys head back to the house.
I'll just head back to the house.
Okay. So after a couple hours or so spent in the sanctum, greatly helped out by Aeon's help of being able to identify all the requisite material, your group kind of returns to the house, kind of glancing off in the corner at a small pile of dead pigeons, just kind of in the corner that look as though they have been killed and kind of ripped apart a little bit. There's kind of feathers scattered around. It looks like they were kind of haphazardly thrown over at the side of the house near the yoga instructor's place. Kind of not so well hidden. But yep. And then as you guys kind of make your way inside, you have Gorbecks and Boise, Idaho, and the rest of your group.
He eats far too many. He can't be that hungry. As I point like out the window in the yard, just a pile of dead pigeons. Just
1 second. I go look for it. What the fuck? Where's that damn demon?
invisible somewhere. I'm gonna go pick them up before I. Hopefully, no one's seen
Don't
them.
touch those. Let that let Brett do it.
You know, we did have Gorbecks crew come through here. Maybe we can just say like, oh, it's just goblins.
Don't blame the goblins. It wasn't them.
Not our fault.
Would you like to tell the people that we had a little devil that was invisible hanging around?
I will if I have Kazirik! Kazirik!
Yeah? How's it going,
Ugh.
Zal?
You better do something about all those damn dead pigeons, or I'm gonna send you to hell the hard way.
They are damn dead pigeons. Yeah, you got that right, yeah. They weren't very tasty, though.
Clean up after yourself.
Right, gotcha. And you see him just cast a quick spell and they suddenly burst into flame and start smoldering. There you go. They'll be ash in no time. So, how are things going? We got a plan sometime soon, or?
No, we just wanted to address the pile of dead pigeons in our yard.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, and don't worry about it. I took care of your rat problem in the attic, too. So,
I'm gonna go check out the attic.
Is there a giant pile of rats in our attic now?
No, as Kelmac goes and looks, there are you see like little stretches of blood, but Kelmac looks and actually sees rat corpses on the neighbor's roof. So it looks like he just kind of, did his business and then kind of chunked it off onto the neighbor's roof. Yeah. So, that's good. Now that I'm all full and good to go. Yeah, and then I'm just kind of sitting around here. But there's not really much of a hurry. I get that it's summer here in the Prime, but it's not. It's nice, cool, and relaxed. I mean, it's only like 95 degrees outside, so that's great.
We did happen to come across some additional information regarding the Court of Winter. Yandere says as he's like walking back in to the... And can we not burn corpses inside the house or outside the house for that matter? Can we just dispose of it?
You mean you want me to like turn them into like little rat zombies, or
dig a hole and bury the damn things? I don't care.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, if that's right. I remember reading somewhere that you guys bury bodies for some reason. Seems like a waste of good meat to me, but alright, whatever. I'll find a hole to dump them in.
You're the one who threw the rats across the street.
Nah, not across the street. I just threw it onto the adjacent house. It's for the birds. It's called the cycle of life. But alright, I get your point. I'll collect everything and I'll find a hole and put it in the hole.
And bury it.
Like put dirt on top of it?
Yes.
Alright, fine. How big a hole should I find?
Depends on the number of corpses.
No, dig your own damn hole, because you're probably going to put it in something that's supposed to be like public use. And you're going to have a giant mound of dead things in it. Dig a hole, put the dead things in it, cover the hole.
I'm really glad you said something about that, because I was eyeing a hole, back over at the neighbor's house. It's really nice, big. They put stones all around it. It's pretty deep as far as I can tell. But, okay. I will find some ground and dig a hole and put the stuff in there and put the dirt on top of it. Right?
Do our neighbors have a well?
That's why I was like, is it the water well?
Yeah, it would be the forest next to you, their drinking well.
Meh.
And that kind of reason right there, it's like, because it's like, see, I knew you were one of us. Alright, so, alright. I'll go and do it. Devil's on.
What was that hand gesture again?
Devil's honor.
Like this?
No. It's like It's basically a middle finger. Read between the lines, I think your people say.
Keep talking, you're quite entertaining.
Okay.
Caleb, what did y'all come across?
It's incredibly dangerous. Something that we've been informed before, but every instance of information that we've gotten has led us to believe that venturing into the Court of Winter is going to be more hostile than maybe we are prepared for. I will let you know. Yandre will very quickly protest not going, and will probably intend on venturing out no matter whether or not you intend to go with him. But I imagine there could be some instance of convincing in case we need to wait a little longer.
I'm just not sure if I'm sure it's incredibly deadly, but when is ready?
I'm ready to go.
I'm not actually like not in character. I'm just trying to think of like what to say. If anyone else has anything, please go ahead.
And I told Yandre that we do it, and he's part of the group. This is something he needs help with, so we're gonna help him. We just have Gorbecks.
As I hear my name, I will start walking in with the boys and all my crap together and the box in my hand. Well, thank you. And I look at him. Thank you. And I think instead of just kind of doing what I did last time, I think I'm going to tell you guys that bye. I'm gonna go do this crap. We got these 3 things that I got to do, and well,
You don't have to do those until if we can't do the Arcana Law thing, then you have to do those.
I know, but if I go do it, then that's one thing less that you guys have to worry about. And I've encumbered y'all enough, and I don't want to do that. I care about you guys enough to just take care of you. And I'd rather this be on me, since it was all on me in the first place, to just go and handle it. And if I need y'all, or if you want to help, I mean, I can get in contact with you somehow. I don't know, but I think it's better for y'all, but also it's better for me.
So you're gonna do that anyway?
Not that I'm gonna do it anyway. It's just more of I think instead of y'all worrying about it, having another thing to worry about because of me.
But we signed
Who
a
is-
contract saying that we try the other thing first. Now we gotta. You could have just.
This would have been very important information to know before we all wrote our name on the blood contract.
With a devil, a quite strong devil at that. Who is this easier for, Gorbeck? You or us?
Well, I think if I go have a conversation with him, I think I can get
He's-
you guys off the hook.
No.
We're not on the hook.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't hurt you guys at all. You just don't worry about it.
We didn't have to sign anything, though. It could have just been you
Well.
doing this.
Well, yeah, but I thought about it, and I think I'm gonna just go do it, and it'll be good. I get you frustrated. I get it. I understand.
You are hard
But-
to pin down, Gorbeck. You know that?
It's not this. It's. This is why. This is why I don't need. I complicate things for you guys. I've always done that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Then help uncomplicate them. Instead of how it sounds when things get complicated, you just leave.
I mean, I get-
who literally
Do
only
something.
met Gorbeck yesterday.
Why?
We've heard conversations. Our characters have.
What you're saying is you've been biased against Gorbeck.
No, that's why I had the conversation with him yesterday.
We are going, plan to go to the Court of Winter anyways. There is no time limit on getting that devil's target. So, it is two birds with one stone. I'm just gonna look outside real quick, see if the pile of dead pigeons is gone.
The pile of dead pigeons is gone. But
Oh, thank
one
God.
particular thing, though, is I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if y'all's stuff for Yandere entails you guys sneaking into Map's palace. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But
Yeah, we were told that she is most likely has the head of Serenos in a, like, it's not necessarily at the palace. It's in some adjacent location. Thank you. Every time I see somebody says adjacent, I could just see Jace's face light up every time.
Every time you say what?
Adjacent. But we weren't 100% verified on that. It was just kind of information that was prodded out there, but it did come from Azir. So her
or Kyanie.
Kyanie, yeah.
Depending on what name you choose to use.
So we're at an impasse because we don't know if it's actually in the Ice Crown or if it's just somewhere near the Ice Crown. But we won't know until we get to that realm, that place.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because you guys were kind of talking as if like you had to sneak into that thing anyway. I was like, no.
It's a possibility, and we haven't been told otherwise, but it sounds like outside of character, we do not.
I just wanted to make sure that I was clear whenever I set the expectations, that I have not explicitly told anyone that was a requirement.
Yeah. So Yandere is gonna just kind of turn slightly to Gorbecks and just kind of stare at him just a little bit. And you know what? The longer I ruminate this situation, the more I begin to understand why they had me cast that spell on you and go into that contract. I believe that whenever we had our brief conversation yesterday, there was some hesitancy about whether or not you would fulfill your duties and whether or not you would act emotionally over logically. So I beg the question, when do you stop running?
I think I just need to run I don't know. But I don't think I need to run to somebody else's pace. I feel like that's what I've always done. And maybe if I run at my own, then I won't get... Can't say I won't get people hurt, because obviously I did, but I have a plan, a idea. I'm not a part of yours, and you guys aren't a part of mine.
So let me ask you another series of questions. Feel free to answer them truthfully or lie, whether or not, it's up to you. It sounds like running has gotten you into all of your issues. From the time in which you disappeared, and at least when Caleb informed me, when you disappeared down the mountain, you ran, couldn't find you, and there was an issue there. When Milton was taken, had an issue, you had ran and caused an additional problem. When you ended up being taken yourself and imprisoned in the devil's clutches, let's say, you stole something from him and you ran then. When do you stop to see the bigger picture?
I don't know.
Well, saying, I don't want to hurt you. I care about you. I feel like I'm a burden. But you've yet to ask the people that you care about how they feel and whether or not they agree with your decision. I would venture to say that if you care about them, they must be your friends. And if you really care for your friends, maybe you should seek additional advice before you begin to run off again. That seems to be the reason why you keep running into these issues to begin with. So, I don't know you. I virtually know you from a hole in the wall. But it appears as all has maybe some inkling or a reservation of you leaving. Hell, even Kelder here, not Kelder, I keep saying Kelder, I hate that. Kelmac here, even though he's never met you, has grown attached to you, and the fact that Caleb is shut up and isn't talking leads me to believe that he's got thoughts as well. Now, Volred, he just never talks, he kind of looms in the corner, but he has also had some emotional reactions to your presence, which is not common for him in general. Maybe before, again, my advice to you, you leave, talk.
The only way for us to know what Volred is thinking is if he pulls out his bow and shoots at something. If he doesn't do that, then we don't have any clue.
I will also let you know, I signed my name on a contract and a deal essentially for you. I also put my neck out on the line to try to get you that devil that you wanted to fight, and you denied that as well. You're going to do what you want, but just know that you are putting other people in the way of your decisions in trying to avoid them. But you should definitely have a conversation with the rest of your friends.
Well, I'll put my satchel down and the amulet box and... Oh, what do you guys have to say?
I don't want you to leave again. I just got my best friend back.
Even though you fucking put us in like chopped liver, bitch, we've been traveling with you all this other shit, but you know what? Take your best friend. Yeah.
Yes, but you don't.
But good, go back to character. Yes.
They were homeless together.
I want
Caleb.
you to travel with us. If you have to leave, you have to leave. That's up to you. But don't say it's to protect us and go do a suicide mission. If you have your own thing you want to do, that's on you. You could do that. But going to go do this, it's better as a group. Your chances of doing it alone are gone. You're going there for a suicide mission. And then you'll end up being a slave to the devils. Now, is that what you want? To go and kill yourself?
No. It's not. I feel like I've always done what other people have wanted me to do, or done. So I don't know. I just know that it's been. I mean, other than the fact that a devil chased after me, I've done all right.
Yes.
Kind of hard to explain and hard to, I guess, in this situation, say that it's good.
Now, if you want to go off by yourself, start. But give us the right reason.
I do want to, I guess, protect y'all. I mean, that's part of the reason, but also, I mean, I don't want it to be because of y'all. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say without feeling like I'm trying to protect y'all or justify my own decisions or, you know, whatever. I just think I am better doing what but that sounds selfish and I don't like that. But I feel like you guys have to make decisions because of me. I influence your decisions. And I don't want that. I'd rather it is my way of protecting you by not making you make those decisions because you think I'm not going to do the right thing. I think that's what's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself about it. I'd rather go try and show that I'm strong enough to do it on my own without somebody having to worry about me.
No one is strong enough on their own.
I mean, I agree with that to an extent. Simply because got these guys. And it's different, but think they're better. I think we're better than we were before. You're right? I don't know. No, till... Yes, it's finished. I just don't want to put y'all in danger of something that you don't have to do because I can do it.
You realize we have to go to the Winter Court anyways, correct?
Yeah, but that's one less thing you have to worry about.
You know that we killed a dragon. Did we tell you that?
That's pretty phenomenal.
We fucking killed a dragon.
Caleb turned me into a giant ape.
Kelmac nearly died. It was pretty cool.
I did nearly die.
It was so cool.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
We've seen some shit. In my opinion is I think you'd be stupid to leave because you'd be denying yourself a chance at personal retribution. I could elaborate, but I'll leave it there.
Be honest, I don't think I deserve it yet.
So you think you can build up the need of being deserved by physically leaving us? Great plan.
Don't think I'm there. I don't think.
Okay, and Volra just walks out.
The knowledge that you are in a place to be deserved, to be welcomed as part of people, is never known. It happens fluidly, and you never realize it until something pushes the limits of those bonds. You leaving, you say you and your cadre are stronger. But in my honest thoughts, I think you can achieve much more in staying with Alum, who supports you, cares for you, and values you as a deep friend. Izal, who, though some shortcomings, which we all have,
Did you just make a short joke?
values you. No,
Okay.
it's a turn of phrase. Cares for your health and wants to make sure that you're all right. Forward is forward.
As you say
I'm
that, I
sure-
actually return. But keep talking.
And another thing.
Yep.
He
He was
is
going
not-
downstairs to go back to remodeling the kitchen, and then he heard his name.
He thought of something.
I don't have quite a bead on him just yet as to how he shows it, but somewhere he does care for you. And I think you are thinking you're protecting them from hard times, but in fact are making it difficult for everyone because you're OOC, help me with the phrase something to spite your face.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yes. Thank you.
And when I return, I'm actually carrying something wrapped in sheets. And I'll say, Gorbeck, would you like to see something cool?
Not gonna shoot me again, are you?
No, but it might seem like that when I'm about to show you this. But you cannot touch it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
You understand? I need to hear a yes.
Okay. Yes.
So I walk over and kneel down and I unwrap the arrow. The poisoned arrow.
Kind of blah over in the corner. Blah? like going, like getting in really close to kind of take a look. What you see, Gorbeck, is this arrow with a like black, almost kind of graphite shaft. The tip is made of some kind of green, transparent glass-like material, and kind of a leaf shape, but the leaf is twisted. Making it appear as though that would really hurt if it hit you.
What's this?
You remember how I looked like as you preciously put it beef jerky?
Yeah.
This is the type of arrow that shot me and caused that curse. So please don't touch it. Again, no, do not touch.
I don't
Okay.
want to look like beef jerky. You got it.
The reason I'm showing you this is because I would have never found this arrow, nor would have I ever cured my curse if it wasn't for relying on these people in this room. Yes, we do put each other in danger at times. But that's how life is. If I would have left and gone on my own, I probably would have been dead by now. Keep that in mind. And I get up and I walk away and wrap the arrow up again.
Gorbek, you humor me with another question. What exactly did you just hear from the people who spoke?
The things that I people that seem to care. Things that I try to tell others. And compassion and care that I don't really show myself well. It's just hard for me to believe it.
Well, good. At least you heard the impact that you have on the people around you. I just hope that you feel it as well. And Yonder's going to walk up and put his hand on Gorbeck's shoulder. I release you from your contract. And the black miasma, like, haze effect of the spell that may have, like, seeped into, like, Gorbeck's clothes and things like that begins to waft off and go up Yandre's arm. You say that you don't get a chance to really make your own decisions, and that you have been forced to do what others require you to do. I haven't seen that since I've been with you. I actually see a lot of wiggle room and a lot of autonomy for yourself to make your decisions, but I think you interpret it as something else. But I'm no longer going to hold you to our contract, as it's been fulfilled. You have the opportunity to make your own decision. I just hope that you take into consideration the impact of that decision. But it is up to you. And then Yandere will walk back over to where he was before.
I'm gonna go sit by Kayla. Just hang out for a second.
Regardless of what you do, I'll stand with your decision. Just know you will be missed.
Gorbecks. I'm walking over.
Yeah.
Got two options for you. One is you stay and help us, take care of the problem. Or two, you leave. And we're all gonna hate you for it. We're not gonna hate you, but we'll be upset. But I think that you leaving is a really dumb idea and a really Gorbecks decision. So I cast Minor Illusion and make an image of the get out of Gorbecks decision free card. Technically, I still have this, even though you rejected it last time. If you go and leave, you're probably going to get in trouble again, and we'll probably have to come help you. And we're going to have the whole meeting up thing again where like, oh, I didn't mean to put this in a bad situation. And we're just going to have to do the whole song and dance again. Or you can help us on this next little journey, kind of get back in the groove of things. And we could use all the help we can get, or trying to take care of a Faye situation. And then you can go. And if we take care of Yandere's problem, then we can definitely bounty hunt 3 people for you real quick. I don't think that'll be much more difficult.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to stay or you choose to go, I have something else for you, but I want to know what your decision is. And I pull out a note. Depending what you choose, depends on this note. And I put it away.
Only get to see it if I choose the right thing.
Yeah, you gotta choose the right thing. let you think about it for a little bit. I gotta go upstairs and make sure Actually, we're on the stairs. We're on the first floor. Which floor are we on? Wood floor? Stone floor? Communal living room?
I think we've
Well,
been
remember,
on the wood
you
floor.
guys found out that you have a basement and an attic now, so now I guess you have 2 stone floors and 2 wood floors.
But based off the map, we're on the wood floor. We're on the wood
I'm
floor.
just trying to make things complicated for you guys.
So instead of going
You
up
know
to
me,
my
stir
room,
the pot.
I'm going to go over to my room. And I'll just do that. I'll be back in a little bit. Y'all discuss, talk about things amongst yourselves. These walls aren't super thick, so I can probably hear you talk loud enough, so just talk loud. I don't know. 1 second. Bye. I go into my room.
Well, dear, this is an awkward situation. Sounds like everybody had already said what they wanted to say, and now we're forced to have an additional conversation. But
And you guys just kind of hear from the space above you, man, you guys say the sappiest shit.
You live in a world of fire and brimstone.
You just gotta look up and you see Kazirik's face, like in a little bit of an AC return duct kind of thing.
We have AC? Holy shit. This place is getting better.
Luxury.
No, it's
Not
part
even
of.
just AC, but a return duct. Some houses don't have return ducts.
Great ventilation in this house.
They use the
I mean,
closet.
You guys don't have AC,
lower
but I mean, there
space.
is piping for heating and such. Remember, down in the kitchen, it's designed for the heat to rise up to the rest of the house.
We should really go check out the attic when we got a second.
There's a pool table up there.
Fuck, this place is awesome.
Hey! I told you that in confidence.
In the middle of the night, you just hear.
What the fuck? That little devil still here? What the fuck?
they are
Don't
going,
worry about me, just your upstairs neighbor.
they're going to be with us until we go to the Court of Winter. You do realize that. I guess I'm talking to myself. Great. What was the names of the riffraff again?
This one's Riff, this one's Raff.
Rift and Raff.
We're
Belay.
going.
Torque, Bleh.
What are the rest of
Down
them?
bad.
Down bad. Krark. Not Torque.
Yeah, Torque's one of.
Yeah, Turk was one.
Torque was one, and
Yeah,
then down
Torque.
bad.
Krark, Krolk, Down bad, and Bleh.
Formerly Mill.
No.
Oak.
Now you're just being mean.
Hey, I'm the Dutch master. I gotta,
All you ever be is me.
Also, where do you all stay when you're not here? Gorbeck.
Just kind of roam. At least that's kind of what we did before. So it's more of a. That's kind of our next big thing, is to find where goblins are and try to make a change.
So you have no stationary residence.
No, we don't really need it. I guess is just kind of try to spread the gospel of Gob.
The Gospel of Gob.
Not really. That's a little.
Yeah, the gospel.
It's a little excessive, but it's just is more.
Praise
of a,
be to Magublia.
I don't know about that. But Bled, did we figure out where we're going next? Have we got that?
Blah, blah, blah. Blah. No say.
Yo no say.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's learning words. Actually, I have a very elaborate vocabulary and an excellent grasp of diction.
He speaks fluid goblin. They just don't. It's the translation to English that doesn't really go over too well.
The DM just doesn't know Goblin.
It's Portuguese. It's not even Goblin.
Now, the problem is that anytime Vlad just says stuff, Gorbek just assumes, acts like he understands. So, like, as far as Vlad's concerned, he's speaking a legitimate
It's
language.
like he speaks undercommon.
Should have put a backstory to these goblins. I should
You should have.
I requested one.
You hang around a lot.
I still have not even gotten your official list. But, that's okay. List is shorter now.
That's cold.
Come back in. Y'all made your decision yet?
No.
I'm back.
One of those. It's one of those things where, again, I feel like if I don't go with you, I'm doing what you guys want. And it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Wait, are you saying that
Yes.
if you think that if you don't go with us, so you think if we go with you, you're doing what we don't want?
If I leave, I'm not doing what y'all want. Because, well, here's this note. You got to make the right choice. I'm tired of not making choices that I want to make. I effing love you guys. Caitlin, frick, man, I love you. You saved my life.
Correct. Everyone here has told you to do what the fuck you want. We told you what we want.
Exactly.
We also told you that you should do what you want.
I want to make y'all happy. That's what sucks. Because I don't think I'll be happy. But I don't know.
You don't think
Dichotomy of
you think that being around us is going to cause issues?
yes.
Gorbecks, do you know what happened when you left? More fucking issues. Like, it didn't stop. There just were issues caused by you. There were still issues. The dragon, we camped next to a bar that was this dragon. All right, we invaded an ancient sanctuary type of crap. We do all kinds of stuff on our own. It's got nothing to do with you. That shit is going to happen no matter what. It's whether or not you choose to be with us and also do it. I mean, considering the worst things that you ever did was blow yourself up and fall off a cliff, that does not necessarily impact everybody. We just care about you. That's why we gotta come take care of you. We took care of
Caleb's
everything.
done way worse the back half
Oh
of the
my
campaign.
God, Caleb is so much. The fact
Volred sunk a ship full of orphans.
that actually happened beforehand. We just didn't know about it. Volred opened up, which is kind of scary. So, if anything,
Yeah, technically, Volred did not do that. That was Darla.
if anything, we've done. Caleb's been way more chaotic without you. I mean, Volred and I.
Lauren has died while you were gone.
Volred and I have probably broken quite a few laws. So
Martial laws, really.
Mhm. And-
Crimes against humanity.
Yeah, so like that's gonna happen anyway. You being here means that we can see you, we can interact with you, we can make the stupid mistakes together, and kind of just be part of the same group. That shit's gonna happen no matter what, Gorbecks.
At any rate, So it is time for break now. So we will have to say that this conversation continues on towards the latter part of the evening. And we'll figure out whether or not the group came to a consensus when we return from break. So, come back in 15 minutes to see what Gorbecks decided.
Intermission. Ooh, that's a good tease. Is he gonna be
Yeah,
here when
yeah.
he gets back? Who knows?
Who knows? This relation could change my entire outlook on life.
We are well past
Break
the
back.
time for those jokes.
First the sphincters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black Tower Stories.
No. This is not your radio show, okay? No.
Welcome to KNLV 10625. What?
98.3 friendly radio.
That was a lot of numbers for a radio station.
Or just,
It's
yeah, or
FM.
just, yeah.
8675309.
69.
Oh.
Oh man, you guys are the okay. I can't say that because I contributed to that. That's what I saw. That look on Ari's face. He was like, "The what? Check yourself, Eric Saxon."
Check yourself
Not the
before
government.
you
Names.
riggedy
Not the
breakfast.
full name. Dang.
You didn't say metal.
I mean,
We could, though.
That is last name.
I'm pretty terrible though. Just if
I
we
mean-
keep track.
it doesn't matter. I've told way too many people that I do this stream, and I have way too many contacts on LinkedIn. Anyone would not. You would not have to search very far
You go on his
to find.
LinkedIn, and it says
my-
Dungeon Master for Black Tower Stories on Twitter.
I actually don't have that on my LinkedIn.
Oh, good.
But I thought about that. I was like, should I? And I go, well, we don't have much of a community, so I don't really see that as a thing. But who knows? Maybe we'd have free advertising. You know, I
Sponsor us,
get.
LinkedIn.
Well, I'm saying it'd be free advertising because I get lots of people looking at my profile. You know.
Because you're
Um.
a game developer.
Well, yes, but I mean, anyway. Hey guys, welcome back after the break. Here we are on the Adventures in Athoria and Black Tower Stories, specifically in S&M, or Sweet Nut Manor, for those of you who have been around for a while. Despite having it being a manor and there being no trees of any variety, let alone, yeah. So,
Sweetest of men.
after
Just
several
approach-
hours of intense conversation, the night starts to come to a close over, I assume, some of the decanting of liquor from the kitchen and wine rooms in the lowest floor of the house.
We break into
Eventually-
stash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who knows? She probably kept some. You know, she's got expensive taste. It's part of. She gets like the wine delivery along with the groceries. Just kind of goes on a cycle. But yeah, so ultimately, after lots of conversations, you were eventually able to convince Gorbecks to remain for the party, at least for a small amount of time. And some effort is being made to figure out, lodging accommodations, whether or not the goblins are going to continue to lodge with Kelmac. Are there any doors that might need to have locks put on them now? That
My
kind of
goblins aren't like that. They're phenomenal little guys.
stuff. They're curious, you know?
Hmm.
But was there anything that you guys wanted to discuss prior to wrapping out the evening?
Are we taking this thing to them before we go to the Fae?
Thinking one thing.
You're technically supposed to turn that in to Kazirik. You really kind of should have already done it, but
Sucks to be them.
I mean, I can hand that over if they.
because I mean that was a provision of the contract.
Kazarik!
Kazirik kind of pops in like, "Yeah, what do you want, boss?"
Correct?
I'll hand him over the box.
No, give them
I'll
the-
hand over the amulet. Not giving him the box.
Good
Give him
box.
the amulet.
Okay, you open it. He's like, good, because that box is that'd be a little big for me to carry. And he kind of takes it, and it's like, yeah, fool, if I show up with this thing around my neck, big man would kill me. All right, so I suppose I'll take this back to the boss, and handle that right quick. So, yeah, fine. Just let me know when we're ready to go, and I'll take you wherever it is.
All right. Don't get in trouble while you're over there.
I mean, no promises.
My. He almost set fire to the front of the house.
Almost.
Luckily, the corpses of all those pigeons burned very quickly, and it didn't have time to set fire to it.
The bushes. Though I can't say our neighbor will be happy if she sees the char.
Hey, Gorbeck, I hold out a piece of paper. Do you think you made the right decision?
Muted. Yes.
I'm actually glad you guys didn't hear what I was saying.
Because you're about to say something highly offensive.
Quality.
That was one of those situations where Bevo meant to say something for Gorbecks and then immediately regretted it. And thank God he got an opportunity to retcon.
Gift of gab.
Sorry, yeah, I was about to say I would hate to have to cast my gift of gab. Yes.
Okay. I hold out the piece of paper, but I keep a hold of it. Wait for you to hold on to it. Hold it.
Can I have?
Close your thumb. Put your thumb on it. Grab it.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so we're both holding it. Yandere,
No.
Andre.
No.
come on.
No.
This is a
No.
Cool. It's cool.
No. I'm not putting. No.
This is.
No.
I will tell you the terms
No.
before we do it.
Hell no.
I'll tell
No.
you the terms, Garb.
Oh, we're turning into Tracy Morgan here. That's what's happening.
You're supposed to go on a rant in Spanish.
This note, Gorbecks, is a secret. You can open this note at any point, so long as you have gone 30 days in a row with pronouncing my name correctly, at least once a day, out loud.
I want to have faith that that's going to happen. The problem is, the first time will probably always be wrong. You're giving me a lot of grace here.
Yeah. You have to go 30 days in a row with pronouncing my name correctly, at least once a day, without effing up on it.
I mean, yes, I would love to.
I, despite knowing you so well, am going to trust you. And since you're so adamant on Yandere not doing another fun ceremony which is hilarious, here you go. Do not open this until you yourself have gone 30 days of doing it correctly.
Grab it. Going in the vest. And I'll put it in the vest.
Okay. The correct choice was doing what you wanted. Just like you know. Don't show anyone else that paper, by the way. I'm real pissed if like you got robbed and took all your clothes and that shit was on it. So don't.
I mean, well, I do have a tendency of getting in the skivvies, but I'll be.
That's also not magically protected, so it's not exactly waterproof. So
Okay.
put it in the box. Put it in the box in satchel.
Were you saying this in front of everybody?
Yeah, or out loud in a group.
I mean, how about I just won't swim with it?
Oh.
I mean, I'll be careful. Listen, hey.
You know what? I'm going to trust you with my secret in that piece of paper.
I'll look at everybody else and be like, "You hear that? You hear that?" And then I'll. Wait. Okay.
Sounds like you were immediately trying to look into this piece of paper was.
Being a dirty goblin. That's all. All right.
Alright. We should probably get the whole bed thing situated.
Well, we do have an addict. And apparently a basement.
A whole lot of open space in these living rooms.
There's still beds and stuff in Kelback's room. Just saying. That's where they've been.
I will just assume, gentlemen, and start snapping. Yeah, beds to the basement. Don't worry, we got it.
That's where that kitchen is.
Well, we probably won't be in the basement long, but that's what we're gonna when we're here.
Yeah, we just have to learn the layout of the basement as well. But that's fine. I'm assuming they have enough space to be able to put beds in the basement, correct, DM?
Yeah, the hard part will be getting those little small goblins moving the beds down the basement. Because remember, you guys have kind of a spiral staircase type situation.
For the basement? Oh god.
Right, all of them. It's like they're not straight stairs. I mean, that's very common in old places. They're like turret stairs.
You built the house
Normally,
around
if you were going to
furniture.
deliver furniture like that, they would install a crane in the attic and lift the furniture through a second floor window.
Do we have a crane?
You have a spot where you could hook up a crane, yes.
This is the best house ever. Our last campaign house had a tower. This one has a space for a crane.
Yeah, like kind of like a barn crane, you know, that's got large kind of shutter areas
Central
that you can.
AC. It's got heating.
It's got heating, not AC.
It's got a duct.
If we just get supplies and build a bed, that sounds easy.
Hey, you've built lots of stuff with random supplies that you found.
We've got
through
sleeping
places.
bags, fellas. We're just going sleeping bags. We're gonna keep it easy.
Ah,
Yep. Downstairs.
We could just move the.
You
beds
guys
to,
are
like,
staying here while we do all this crap too, because I'm not losing anybody. All right? Yeah? What?
nah.
Okay, what I want you to do is talk to the yoga instructor next door, see if we can figure out if she knows of any goblins that are bothering people, and we're going to work on trying to make sure. And you guys know what we're looking for. We've gone over it several times, and figure it out. And let's see if we can get anybody to join our society. You know what I mean?
Ah.
And especially, and honestly, we could try to mend this relationship that we have here. I know Yandre seems to despise this woman, and I don't know what it is, you know? So, I mean, maybe that's just me projecting things, but again, I hear a lot, there's a lot of frustration, and while we're here, while we're in this house, we're going to mend these broken wings, and we're going to have some people soaring.
Ah.
Did you?
Blah, 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 scamping, blah, 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 blah.
Yep, absolutely.
What did
So,
the goblin just say?
I look over at Caleb and just go, did Yandre ever mention having any ill will towards this woman that he's talking about?
Not that I recall.
So
Before or after Gorbecks came back.
where did it come from? Because as I'm floating around, Yandre has not spoken ill of relatively anyone. Relatively.
actually, guys, you know what? We're gonna go right now, and we're gonna take everybody next door. You guys figure
It's
out when
not-
we're leaving.
Nelena's-
then we're
she's
gonna go-
working or asleep. Don't go over there.
Well, it's in the evening. She's probably making dinner. It's probably about that. We could make you guys something. That sounds good. Clark, get started on dinner. That sounds good. Everybody else, let's go. We're going next door.
Oh, fuck. We should introduce our goblin people.
It's very
I
important.
will go
Someone should go warn the florist while we go to the yoga instructor.
Izal, if you want to warn the florist, I'm gonna go
Man,
intercept
we have.
so that
She's been really
she does not
stressed
have.
since that cold came through.
I'm sure having nothing against you, Gorbeck, but having a bunch of goblins show up at your door rambling is probably not the best thing to.
This is where we're
introduce
trying to
shelters.
break down walls. That's what we're trying to do here.
I
So
will go
I respect
to
it.
preemptively introduce Alora to of our situation before the goblins come over.
Yeah.
At night, because it's nighttime now.
Fair enough.
I will go
What's her name?
in front of the
Calmac?
goblins
What's her name? Calmac?
and Nalira.
I don't know. Y'all don't even know her name.
I
so.
do. I have it in my notes.
I do. I have the notes in front of me.
Yeah, yes.
I have notes somewhere.
You know what's good? The Discord search function.
Search the word neighbor.
Egg rolls are also really good.
Crab rangoons.
I'm hungry, so stop talking about food, please.
You should have eaten at break, like I did.
Yeah, it's
You're right.
well.
That's what I do every break. That's why I run away so quickly.
But yeah, I will go accompany the goblins and make primary introduction. Just like trying. I know that the average person, Gorbeck, as we're walking over to the yoga instructor's house, that the average person will become very alarmed and probably call guards. And to help you in breaking down these walls, I think having someone initially make that introduction to give the feeling that you are not harmful and here to steal their stuff is good.
Certainly. If you want to line up next to Bleh, perfect. Well, gentlemen, line up, and I will knock on the door.
I would love to just remind everybody and paint this picture of what's actively happening. We have this big ass Leonin traveling with a group of goblins out of the most chaotic house in the city, gallivanting over to the nearest neighbor's house to introduce themselves while the Leonin is giving a pep talk to the goblins about how normal people should act.
If a guard is there,
live on a cul-de-sac,
it's
John.
he doesn't even do anything. It's just like, the fuck is going on?
I just,
Yeah,
I just
so you
wanna-
guys are heading to Nalira.
Yeah.
Okay. So you going? Knock on the door.
Nalira.
Nalira.
Say that one more time and enunciate.
Nalira.
Nalira.
Thank you.
And takes a few minutes for her to answer, but as you do, she kind of opens it up, and you can see she's wearing this kind of gossamer
Got
black.
leg and legs?
What? She's an elven woman, lithe and athletic, but she's wearing this kind of black gossamer kind of robe that's still mostly see-through, and you can tell that she's not wearing a large amount of clothes underneath. And you can see she's got her skin's a little dewy, and you guys can kind of feel a little bit of heat coming out from the interior of the house. And you guys can hear like wind chimes or something going on near the back. Just kind of looking down at the group.
She's got a portal to the fire plane open for hot yoga.
How tall is she?
Well, actually, she's a little tall for an elf. She's just right around 6 feet. Yeah, which is she's slightly taller than the average male elf.
Gorbecks kind of woman. She will
Oh,
open the door.
but you also see like some almost kind of like henna tattoos, tastefully done, but just kind of around the body. She's like looking down and goes, "New neighbor."
New resident, Nilira. This is Gorbeck and his entourage. He has recently returned from
Kelmek?
from away.
Kelmek? Thank you. You may be dismissed. I apologize.
I'm just gonna a
love to-
gauntleted hand on your head, just.
love to introduce myself. My name is Gorbeck, and may I say you're quite lovely.
She seems a little apprehensive at first, but you see the apprehension fade.
Because of
And
the magic.
And she smiles and she kind of like bends over a little bit to get closer to your height. She's showing a little bit more. Her robe's coming undone just a little bit. Kind of reaches down and grasps your hands. I must say, you are without a doubt the most eloquent goblin I've ever met.
Eloquence is my nature, ma'am. And I'll snap in, and we bring back the eloquence. This is my.
As you kind of look over, you kind of see the goblins kind of midstream, kind of acting out like a scene of you and her kissing.
And snap. I just wanted to introduce that the gentleman and I, we will be in this humble abode next to you, and we are going to anything that you need, we will help you do, as well as anything there. We are here to be of service. The Goblin Support Society. The GSS, you call our name, and we'll be there for you. And me, personally, anything and everything. Not personally, I'm you. Wow. And a big gulp. And then back to a smile.
Well, isn't that kind?
Can you hear me?
Well, my name is Nilira, and I suppose you could say I am a fitness instructor. Just up the street here is the Radiant Courtyard. I lead a morning yoga class there every morning. You and your compatriots should feel free to stop by if you're ever up and about near dawn.
We would love to. Thank you for the invitation. But that's all we were here to do, is just to introduce ourselves and hopefully build a lovely relationship of friendship and yeah. Bye. And then I'm going to run away.
Yes. He kind of looks over to Kelmac. Bit of a interesting compatriot.
He had something going for a second. But the Goblin Support Society is his own little project to alleviate the I've totally lost the word. I used last week. The stigma of goblins in the community, and that they can be helpful. He does have a few, and they are, as I watch all of them scurry back to using each other, learning. But I think the interaction with you, Nilira, is a very big step forward for him, that not everyone will react horrifically to goblins at their doorstep.
Well, yes, I had to admit I was a bit surprised at first, but it's not often you see a goblin wearing so many clothes and having so many piercings.
I'm not sure of the piercings, but he is who he is. But he has recently returned.
He's not the first goblin I've met in my time. I've been around quite a while. So,
Well,
At any
I do
rate,
apologize if we interrupted any activities, but you have a lovely evening, ma'am.
well, thank you so much. But though I may be much older than you, man is a little too formal.
Miss Whisperwind? Or just Nilira?
Or Nalira is fine, yes.
Well, Nilira, have a fantastic evening. And I will
Yes. And,
give her a
she
slight
goes to-
little bow.
Yeah, and she goes to kind of turn and then kind of stops. Pardon one moment. You had a young woman in your employ, an elf like myself, Salusa, I believe her name was. I have not seen her for several days. Do you know where it is she's gone? Is she still a resident, or is she gone somewhere else?
She has vacated with, and is no longer a resident. She has things in her life that she must do, and being at the House of the Silver Knights of Mythal is not one of those.
Unfortunate, though I would hope that that means she's got her feet under her a bit more.
Yes. From what I've heard, changes are on the up for her.
Well, that's certainly good. Such a hard-working young woman. Glad to see she's doing much better. At any rate, I suppose the gods should bless you and give you mercy for your charity work. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, please let me know.
If words are hard,
Comeback word good, not.
we're not work good sometime. I will be sure to give you a ring.
Do be like that.
Should something come up.
Very well. Enjoy your evening.
Goodbye.
She kind of steps back and closes the door.
You can't tempt Kelmac with some flimsy clothes and a lithe body.
We've been neighbors
Okay.
for months. What are you talking about?
How about some dice and a coin purse?
Deal.
Gotta have muscles.
Stay away from my girlfriend.
Okay. What about a beer and another cat in your turf?
What if a tabaxi shows up like across our cul-de-sac?
It's not. I'm sure y'all teased Kelmac before about that. Just like, what if a tabaxi moves in? It's like it's not a territory thing.
Yeah, just curious. Is this going to be like a tail up or tail down scenario?
We haven't made fun of you on stream yet for it. So just be prepared if one does move in. Although with the taxes in this area, it's highly unlikely with tabaxi.
I'm not sure. It'd be a pretty well off tabaxi.
I go to the neighbor.
Okay. You're going on the other side of the botanist?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Alora?
Hello.
Alright, so you head over to Alora's place. You go and knock on the door.
I'll keep chatter going as long as I'll keep peeking over to our other neighbor's house. As long as the goblins are distracted over there, I'm going to keep this going. But once they start heading this way, I'm just going to immediately bail.
Okay. So, at this point in time, it takes a little bit longer for Alora to show up. When she answers the door, she's in this kind of like grandma style, like night robe and like a cap. It's like, oh, Lady Azal. Apologies, is something wrong?
I'm sorry to disturb you this late at night. We recently had, I don't know if you've noticed, but several goblins are living at our quarters now. One of them being a
You're
former
kind of
a party member that's currently in limbo. They wanted to go introduce themselves to all of our neighbors. Currently, they're over across the ways. They're gonna come here next, and I figured I'd kind of do a buffer. Gorbecks a little chaotic and extreme in some ways, but he's also very polite. It's hard to tell depending on how he acts, but he keeps the rest of the goblin crew pretty much in check. He just wanted to introduce and kind of make an appearance. So I apologize. I know it's late. We're going through a lot of stuff over there, so
right. I mean, is there something I should worry about? I mean, are they house trained?
they're real polite, like super polite. Like they'll do all kinds of tasks just to make sure everything's a little neat and tidy, but they're trying to make good on their hands. And I didn't want them to come banging on your door first, so I figured I'd come.
I see. So I suppose it would. They're like children in a way?
Children who know how to use all their fingers.
I see. Well, that is useful information. Should I just wait here, or?
Well, they'll be coming in probably in like 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how long they take over there. They'll come knock on the door. Gorbeck will introduce himself. He'll introduce the rest of his crew. We'll go probably on some type of introductory spiel. Just pretty straightforward. Just let you know that they will be staying over at our house, and in case someone comes screaming down the hallway, the road saying goblins are in the neighborhood or something, it's like they live here.
I'm gonna start coming up screaming like, "Oh my God! Did you see it? What? Yeah, did you?" And I'm like talking to the guys and like, "Oh, she was tall and wow!" And then
let him do his thing.
we gotta.
So he'll come knock in a moment. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay. You go and kind of closes the door after you leave.
All yours,
Running up to the door as fast as I can.
Like weird howling trick-or-treating.
There's kind of a slight break as the door kind of opens up and goes, "Oh, good evening."
Hi, I'm Gorbeck, and gentlemen, and Snap, and we'll line up. These are my friends. We are all goblins. We are part of the Goblin Support Society. So if you ever need any support needs, we can be there for you. So we don't really do like house cleaning stuff, but we'll be cleaning this house over here because that's not really our thing. It's just any time that you need a cuddling, loving, or feeling better after you've been sad or crying or anything like that. That's what we're here for. We're here to listen to you, for you, anytime. I'm Gorbeck, by the way. Can I get your name?
She kind of is looking at it. Oh, well, that's very sweet of you. You're awfully well behaved.
Well, just certainly, goblins are not all bad.
I'm Elora Flowers. I am, well, florist by trade, but have, in general, a green thumb. I handle some of the greenery and gardening around for some of the locals here in the neighborhood. I may end up running into you from time to time as I come in and handle the landscaping around the house.
Well, do you prefer Elora or Miss Flowers? Do you have a preference so that way we can keep track for our notes?
Either is fine. If we're going to be neighbors, then we might as well be neighborly.
All right. Well, Elora, it's great to meet you. I'm excited to see you around, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Oh, thanks for coming and letting me know and introducing yourself. Had I known, I would have prepared a pie or something.
No, we'll prepare everything for you. Don't you worry. We're here to support you. Wing. And
Okay.
I'm gonna wink and prestidigitation to give a little
Prestidigitation. Little sparkle.
ching on the. the tooth.
You see her kind of smile. Well, it was nice meeting you, Master Gorbeck, and if you do require anything, you know where to find me.
Yes, ma'am. Have a lovely evening. And then I'll run off with the boys, and we'll still talk about Nolira.
Okay. It's like, her boobs for you!
No! Respectful.
That's what you meant to say, though. Okay, so anything else you guys want to do this evening? Okay, seems like it. So we'll kind of be moving on then to the 33rd. Bullred, as
Yeah.
you are spending time in quiet contemplation in your room, probably enjoying some never-ending or some drink or something from the stash, you hear a little bit of a rustling sound in the ceiling above you.
What does it sound like?
Sounds kind of like a big squirrel or something rooting around the attic.
Now that I know there's an attic, I'm going to actually go up there and look.
Okay. As you head up in the attic, that place is dark, but hey, you're an elf, you got dark vision. So you don't necessarily see anything, but you can sense a bit of a presence. And as you kind of turn to look, you watch as like these two little red eyes kind of appear off in the darkness. It's almost as if the shadows cling to this creature, as your dark vision can't seem to pierce it.
Well, hello there.
Hey, boss. How you doing?
Good. What you doing?
Oh, just checking in, seeing how things are going. Place has quieted down quite a bit, I'd see.
Well, it's nighttime.
Oh, come on. Couple of your members, you don't even sleep.
Yes, but I am incredibly lazy and don't like to move a lot of the time.
Yeah, I get that. But you can be decisive when you need to be.
Well, yes, but right now I have no desire to do anything but relax. It is the noble way.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of curious, how long you think you're actually gonna spend doing this whole reformed baddie turn good person routine?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Oh, come on. I mean, when I look at you, I see the darkness in your heart. I've even had the pleasure of watching your casual indifference towards your goblin friend downstairs. Seems to me you don't really much care for anyone here. These individuals are mostly relationships of convenience.
I don't think that's quite accurate,
Well,
but I can see how that may appear.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is I don't exactly sense a whole lot of remorse from you, given some of the things you've done in your past,
And what would those things be, perhaps?
See, I can't really look back in the past, but I can sense a lot of death and harm. I can also see and hear a lot of voices clinging to you. Curses, you know what I mean? A lot of people have cursed your name over your life. Quite a few. More than average. Person doesn't get that much stacked up in their ledger unless they've been a real bad person for a real long time.
So, quantify it if you can. Are we talking like double the average, triple the average?
Well, It's hard to say exactly. You know, you elves sure do live a long time. But I would say you've probably got about average for a normal homicidal sociopath. Your kind, they spend an awful lot of time in the field of strife. Yeah, I can't say for certain, but I'm fairly certain you're going to be coming our way after you die.
Maybe that's a good thing.
No.
If I am the homicidal maniac that you believe I am to be, wouldn't that be good for me?
Oh, I don't necessarily know good for you. Certainly good for us in business. But, still, I was just curious, considering, since I said, you know, you're kind of casual indifference, I was just kind of curious whether or not we can expect to see any more good evil deeds.
When you say good evil deed, I take that as a high quality evil deed and not a good evil deed in terms of the, you know, pendulum swing that good and evil is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, don't get me wrong. That ledger, you got a lot to atone for, my friend, and I just want to make sure the scales stay tipped in our favor, if you know what I'm saying. I'm also kind of curious how, an individual such as yourself makes decisions when the lives of your fellow compatriots are involved.
This is beginning to feel like a job interview.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say a job interview, but I wouldn't be lying if I said Lord Mardaxis is very interested in your soul. I think he's kind of hoping that you would have stepped in. I mean, after all, of all the individuals here, you have the least qualms with hunting down people. That other dwarf lady in your party, Izal, she at least stipulated that she only wanted to hunt evil people. I get the distinct impression you don't much care one way or the other.
I would like to think I've changed. You are correct that I may have been lacking empathy in my previous endeavors, but since dying previously, I will say that I have a broader picture of life, and while at times I may still feel callous at a stranger, perhaps, I don't necessarily attempt to harm anyone unless it's justified.
Okay. Maybe I've got it wrong. But, still, I think it'll be really interesting, you and I getting to work together. I'm really looking forward to it.
What a peculiar conversation this was.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, you don't seem afraid at all to me.
No, I walked up here and said hello, didn't I?
Indeed you did. A cucumber as cool as Colchitis. But, well, I suppose we'll get to know each other a little better moving forward.
I never knew Colchitis to have a good selection of produce.
No, Colchitis is in the lair of hell. That's a permanent frozen scape. You know, frozen rivers, sub-zero temperature. One of the forms of torture of eternal damnation.
Are you sure that's not another city? My father would always take us on vacation, and we would stop by this Pope-dunk town, and he would say, "Welcome to Colchitis."
Welcome to my
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but he's just kind of looking at it like he doesn't really He's trying to figure out whether or not that's a joke. Because, yeah. Yeah, I think you'd fit in just fine in hell. Anyway, I'll let you get back to your evening. After all, I've got some stuff to report to the boss anyway.
I would say to keep it down up here, but as I don't sleep, make all the noise you want.
Okay, alright.
Good night. Or
I'm
whatever.
all red.
Walk back to bed.
Walk back to bed. And I think it was, because I know Caleb's on that floor, and was it Izal? That's on the opposite side? Yeah. So it's like, well, then yeah. I mean, I don't know. Caleb may be up burning the midnight oil, but still. So, the rest of the evening passes along, and the morning of the 33rd appears.
I thought it was the 31st, a second ago.
No, it was the 32nd. It was the 31st was an event. Then you went yesterday on the 32nd
Okay.
to visit. And then now you slept.
Gotcha.
And the 45th is when the tournament starts. That you guys will probably miss.
What?
Just being real here, you know.
Is it the 33rd or the 32nd?
It is the 33rd now, morning of the 33rd.
Okay.
Yep. But morning appears. The smell of breakfasts begins to waft up through the house. As Torque, the goblin, seems to have made a spread.
Oh no, I smell
You're
smoke.
muted.
I smell smoke.
We eat the crap out of it.
Yep.
I will actually grab like a biscuit and a couple sausages.
That's an
And
assumption.
Biscuit sausage. He mostly made like falafel, packed with fruit.
okay, Torque.
You come in and immediately judge.
Torque, not twerk.
I said
Different
torque.
kind of goblin.
I said
Twerking
torque.
is what Santa was doing, and
I
That's
said
good.
what I said. It's not my problem. You can't understand my accent.
Those Leonins.
I don't understand my accent.
So
Shut up, Loco.
Kelmet goes in and judges this food that the goblins have made.
I mean, it looks edible. I mean, clearly it's like amateur chef level, but this Torque dude seems to know how to cook.
Idiot. Torque has proficiency with cooking wise. Do we have any plan for the day, for this morning?
I gotta go.
No say.
Go back.
Nah.
We need to go reactivate your membership.
Or what?
You gotta stay. You gotta stay and be like have access to membership stuff.
To the house?
No, it's your you and
Adventure
Arthur
license.
were set on the reserve members of our adventuring guild. Since you're here, I need to reactivate you.
Okay. Do we have to?
That'd be helpful.
Go get it done.
You have to go there too.
Well, yeah, let's go.
All right. I'm gonna grab some food too, cause I'm hungry. Torque made all of this? Holy shit.
Looks delicious. Thank you.
It's done. Pocket bacon.
What?
You said pocket bacon?
See,
In perfect common.
Yandere, sorry.
No hablo inglés.
Oh no. Gorbeck, translate for us. It says he doesn't speak common.
Say, he doesn't speak common very well. We're working on it.
So Spring Yandere will come downstairs. Wow, breakfast.
Breakfast.
We don't normally have breakfast here. Is everybody here?
We usually don't have soda. Cook in the morning.
I make porridge like at best. So
Oh, I normally just assume that's lunch, but you also don't wake up until closer to like 10 in the morning.
I'm usually real sore. Why come no one else makes it? Anyway, this stuff is great, Yandere.
Yandere will walk over and grab a biscuit. And so, I understand that we're still going to the Court of Winter.
Yep.
And are you wanting to leave today?
I mean, I think, wasn't your idea like once they attack, we know that their army isn't there kind of thing? Or did we want to go first?
Realistically, it's either or. I would imagine that we probably need to pick up some winter clothes, though.
Someone say shopping.
Man, I feel
Well,
like
yeah.
we bought this already.
I mean, yes, we would have to go shopping for the winter clothes. Do you have some already?
I feel like we bought these like winter clothes already. I can't remember.
I think so.
Well, then yes, we should go shopping. But, Izal, I think you said you were getting ready to leave anyway. Should we just go with you?
Oh yeah, you can go with me. I gotta reactivate Gorbecks' membership.
Oh, because he was a part of DBA S&M.
Yes, and now he has to be part of the transferred group. He did not get reactivated, so I have to activate him with S&M.
Is that the best idea?
If he's gonna do something with us, then yeah.
The only reason I ask is it's been a while, Gorbeck. We don't know exactly what other fun you got into. If you've accidentally pissed off some other people, would activating his name bring any sort of notoriety?
Well, didn't doing business as Sweet Nut Milk already have issues with, like, people doing things in their name?
Well,
It
I
was-
said that as in
Technically, it was just called doing business as S&M. It was never spelled out. It was just S&M.
Is this one of those other, like, situations where you don't say, like, it's Sweet Nut Manor and you don't say Sweet Nut Milk?
Correct.
So it was doing business as S&M.
Yep.
Interesting.
But again, my comment was just, is it possible, Gorbeck, that you could have at some point pissed off an official and us bringing you there to reactivate would put your name back on anyone's radar? I feel like that's a fair question to ask.
I don't know. The only person that I know that I pissed off was that devil. So, unless I don't really keep quiet very well, so they probably would have found me at some point.
Fair enough. Carry on.
I mean, he would just be an active member finally. As long as he doesn't go and do quests away from us under our title, it's fine. And if he does, we'd know about it.
Fair enough.
He wasn't.
Carry on.
Right. Who's ready to go then? For the shopping, for clothes, and registration with being Gorbeck. We're not Gorbeck. We are not registering your goblins. Just so you know.
Of course not. I don't want them to be registered. They have another thing. I'm here till we figure this out, and then hopefully, we can get back to being part of the GSS.
And if you split off and go decide, hey, I want to go incognito for a while, we'll re-deactivate you.
Now,
Re-deactivate. Got it. Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to recall you guys putting in orders and like purchasing winter clothes like 2 or 3 sessions ago.
know that we've ordered these clothes.
Yeah, I thought we did.
Yes, because I distinctly recall saying
Volric
we'll just
did it.
consider it twice the cost of commoners' clothes
Volric
or
put
like
the
travelers' clothes.
Those were special clothes for Izal. I purchased some additional clothes in case she goes where whatever it is she's going. So it was supposed to be something that changes shape, but it was a special order, so we had to wait. But I did go to a magical tailor to do so.
Right, but I was thinking that was different
That was here.
because you paid a lot more than like just double the cost for that. Like you paid magic item prices for that.
I also got another magic item, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the bag of holding. I got the bag of holding and then bought the shape-shifting clothes for Izal, which aren't ready yet. Which should be ready today, actually.
Yes.
So, as we're going out, I'll go pick those up.
Gorbeck and I will go register.
Yep, 3 days, and that was on 30th, so it would be today. Okay.
Is it good? 'Cause I swear this conversation for cold weather has happened before.
Well, a magical tailor might not be a bad place to stop at anyway. So let's let them get registered, and then we'll go stop by the magical tailor.
Go to the Adventurers Guild. Come on, Gorbeck.
Okay. So, you guys go and get Gorbecks' license reactivated. Speaking with Maldrazath, you don't actually have to add him to the guild roster as long as his license is valid and he's with you. Then his rank doesn't really matter. Although, like, Gorbeck does have to sign some paperwork in that case saying, hey, look, just realize that you're going adventuring with a party that's way above your level and your chances of, death are pretty high. And then they ask you if you want to take out a life insurance policy or a burial policy, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I don't know, Gorbeck, that might be good.
it's a trap. I wouldn't trust the
Never
government.
pay for the insurance.
Just hide the
but
gold
yeah.
like everyone else. Alright. Welcome back to legal work? I don't know exactly what reference is. Just means that-
We don't have to label it. We can just let it be. We can just. This is the companionship.
Companionship?
I don't know.
Why are you smiling so weird? Alright, let's go.
Okay. And so then you guys go to the tailor.
Go
Correct.
for DeAndre then what?
Yeah, where?
DeAndre, go with us to the Adventurers Guild?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking you guys were doing that first and then hitting up the, then heading to the tailor.
I didn't know we separated.
Well, I mean, the guild is on the way to the tailoring shop.
Yeah, but who knows?
So.
I need to remember her name. What's her name?
So the shop name was Enchanted Elegance Couture.
Yes.
And the shop owner's name was Seraphina Velvet Shadow.
All right, Seraphina.
Seraphina.
I was about to say, because you were getting really lucky. I was just about to call her Edna and just be done with it. So Seraphina. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Seraphina. Yes, so you take the group into the Sterling District on the eastern end, near where it reaches the Moon Gardens, to a simple but still elegantly adorned shop. As you guys enter, you see the place obviously specializes in fabrics and leather. You see numerous clothings, capes, mage robes. You see bags. Um, all of it kind of on display. Towards the back on the other side of a counter, you see a man and a woman in the process of stitching together some clothing. Clothing looks like maybe um, not a consignment, a commissioned piece. As you guys kind of come in, the woman kind of looks over. This is the person you would know, Yandere, as Serafina. Kind of glances over, looks at you, and kind of a, don't I know him from somewhere kind of thing. And then, okay. And then you see her kind of reach over, kind of say something to the man, who just kind of looks over and goes, Serafina kind of puts her stuff down. Come on. Ah, yeah. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. I assume you're here to pick up your personal item?
Yes, actually. But, it's actually... One second. And Yandere turns around and then looks at Izal and just kind of like puts his hand on her shoulder and moves her towards the front next to the counter. And it's, so it's actually for her.
And Serafina, like this woman, is like, this woman's kind of appraising you, Izal. He goes, you know, she's a bit leaner than I was led to believe. We might have to take it in just a little bit.
Well, I did mention that she's somewhat smaller, but has the potential to be bigger. So that's what...
Oh, I know. It's just, I mean, look at those muscles.
What do you mean by
They're
that?
muscles.
And she's kind of looking around and goes, I'm sorry, did you not let your friend here know about your purchase order?
No, I thought it would be a pleasant surprise.
Oh, well, you are in luck, my dear. Your friend here had commissioned a very special piece from me. Rush order. And, well, we're going to need you to try it on a little bit. We'll just have to see if it's to your liking. And she kind of goes over and pulls out kind of a wooden box. Kind of goes and sets it down, opens up, kind of pulls out some, kind of crinkly, like, tissue paper stuff. And then she starts pulling out these pieces of, like, clothing that's like leather armor. It's kind of a paneled leather design that's got these kind of corded lacing that kind of puts it all together. That kind of holds everything. So it actually looks relatively nice, and it's kind of fur trimmed and stuff. Has a very strong kind of barbarian vibe to it. But it's interesting because you see that, like, the laces, there aren't any, like, the laces are all they're integral, and they don't tie off. They just make like an infinite loop. Well, you're gonna have to try it. At least make sure we get the base shape right.
Okay.
Oh, is all. This is for when you eventually do your thing that we're waiting on. Fear was that you would change shape and your clothes would not with you.
Yeah, and then Serafina goes, yeah, so as you look, we've done this in panels, and you see her kind of try and shift apart, and the lacing is almost kind of like elastic. So you see, like, as she's in the process of, like, pulling out, sections of leather kind of fold and unfold, so the armor actually expands and, like, shrinks and grows in size. So that, like, as the armor comes down, the leather pieces just kind of fold on top of each other again. When fully expanded, it's got kind of more of like a very lean, like you will show a little bit more skin, but it's still armor. And everything collapses down to just look like sturdy leather armor when you're wearing it.
So I should I'll go put this on then. Changing room here.
Yeah, it's just right through the curtain there, love.
Okay.
And as kind of walking away, she looks over to you, Yandere. Yeah, I see what you mean. She was definitely in need of an upgrade.
I heard that.
Well, I mean, what did you call this material? It was dominating leather?
No, not well. I mean, it's. I wouldn't call it a dominating. That has a bit of a unfortunate connotation, but let's just say it's very flexible, and well, it would take an awful lot to hurt it.
Ah, so it's kind of like a matrix.
Yeah, I would say that. It's a bit of a matrix weave, can kind of fold in and out. It's honestly some of my best work.
Is all.
What?
So your outfit is the dominatrix outfit.
What does that mean?
It's like a dominating matrix. And it's going to take a lot of hits.
Take a pounding?
Similar, yes.
I don't think I put the pants on wrong. Hold on.
Didn't you make it out of black leather too?
Well, it's more of a dark brown. If it was black, that would just make her look like she's more of a... that she's not the kind of woman that works in a, shall we say, reputable profession.
I mean, well, she does scam. I don't know if that's reputable either.
Well, I'm not familiar with that particular terminology, but do you mean that she spends a lot of time in the evening in the company of others?
Yeah, with another, what is her name? I cannot remember her name. But she does spend a lot of time in the evening with one other person. Now she can wear her dominatrix outfit when she's scamping with her.
I see. And is there a lot of,
Scamping?
well, I was going to say aggressive activity.
Oh, have you seen her? She's very aggressive.
I can sense that.
So I would assume there's a lot of aggressive activity when she's scamping.
I see. I think I understand why you're going for this.
That
How's it going, love?
Don't know. Like come out.
Well, you shouldn't have to undo any of the buckles. It just kind of expands when you put it on.
Come out like. It fits. Just don't know if I'm wearing it. There's a lot. The sections between the paneling is just. I think it's odd.
Well, it is a look, but the point is to make sure that the armor is able to grow and still cover you when that happens. So the plates have to float a little bit.
I mean, I feel like I move around a lot. It's not hindering anything. So functionally, it's fine.
Well, does it give proper support to the girls?
Yeah. I haven't done any backflips or anything, but yeah.
Well, still, I went with leggings instead of skirt because your compatriot here said that you were into, how exactly was it phrased? Strenuous activity.
I'm into not wearing skirts.
Well, yes, that was also communicated.
Gorbecks, what do you think? What does it look like, Eric?
It kind of, I don't know. I'd have to find some deal. But the armor almost kind of looks. You know how like a corset is made of panels?
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of deal where you've got like strips of leather that are laced up, and it is kind of tight, and you're a little perkier. Like you can see, like this is made to make you look good, not just for battle. And of course, like the top is kind of fur lined. But yeah, it's definitely like if you were gonna go corset Renaissance fair, but you wanted barbarian noble.
Think Emma Frost, but in dark brown.
I was thinking Emma Frost. It's like, okay. Man, this looks weird.
You want to be honest?
Yes.
Different.
I don't normally wear this kind of thing.
I know. Normally, like, I mess with you, like, when I kind of thing, but can't decide if I'm, like, getting tingles or weirded out. I don't know.
Why don't we get somebody else's opinion? Caleb.
I think it looks fantastic.
Caleb, you're always so easy.
Caleb has literally no sense.
No sense?
No.
Rip. Well then, how about this? Volrat,
That's an opinion I care about.
Yes.
how do you feel about
His
Azal?
feelings about to get hurt.
How do you feel about
Somebody, so they're gonna find out.
How do you feel about Azal's dominatrix outfit?
I would rather not think of it.
Kelmac?
Thank God it's muted.
I think it looks quite good for what its function is to be.
It's very endearing.
Very Izal.
The last thing that it is. Not in a bad way. But you look great.
Do you not like it?
I'm getting a lot of mixed signals.
No, you're not, there's no, it's just, I don't know how to feel.
Alright, well, I'm gonna walk down the street wearing this. And then we'll find out how I feel about this afterwards.
Sounds grand.
But that does bring us to our next point. We do need winter clothes.
I feel like I'm wearing less clothes than normal.
I mean, well, technically you do, but it's not bad.
Well, all right. So you just need some winter clothes, or do you need some, like, magically enchanted winter's clothes?
Well, I mean, what do you have? And I guess the better question is, how long would it take?
Well, that would be the hard question to answer, because normally most of the stuff that I would have on hand would be some robes and mantles that are good against spell effects, but I don't have anything armor-wise that would provide that kind of effect. I can certainly make you some very traditional padded, insulated clothing, but if you needed something specifically to resist cold, I'd have to make it from scratch, and that would take time and money.
Well, I look over at Caleb and I'm just like, it just said that we just needed regular winter, well, heavy winter clothes, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So, what about just regular sets of heavy winter clothes?
All right, I suppose I can do something for you. Obviously, I'll need to get your measurements and figure out what kind of style. I mean, is this like a club thing? Do you need a match? Or will I be needing to do custom kind of pieces for everyone?
I think we just need clothes. Doesn't necessarily have to match, but I would imagine everybody has their own personality and desire of what they want.
I would like a cape that could detach and be used as a blanket.
So, like a cloak? Or specifically a cape? I'm just asking. I want to double check because I might want one too.
That is a good question. My initial vision was a cape, but I feel like a cloak would be better for the blanket.
Indeed, and we can make it fur trimmed on the inside.
I want to go to there.
Whatever world that exists in, that's where I want to be. Okay.
I'll also take a cloak.
Very well. I suppose I'll get working on it once we get the measurements in. There's only a couple orders ahead of you. That would probably take a few days. But I suppose I could have it done in 3 if you're willing to pay extra for a rush order. I'd have to call in some extra people to help.
How much is the rush order?
Well, let's see. I'm thinking it would cost about 30 gold each for your outfits. I would say 50 gold each if we're doing a rush order.
So 6 of us. So that would be 300 gold?
Yes, that's about what I'd be thinking. That, of course, is assuming we're not doing any sort of magical enchantment. If you did want something to kind of help keep out the cold, that would be considerably more expensive and would take a lot more time.
By a lot more time, do you mean a couple more days, or do you mean it's going to take...
It would take weeks, I'm afraid.
Regular cloaks will be fine.
Very well.
And then I will look at my bag of holding and pull out 30 platinum? Yeah, 30 platinum and just kind of slide them across the desk.
Okay. Next seconds. Very well. Oh, and we need to not forget to close the tab on your current order.
Did I not pay in full?
I believe you were going to pay in full, and then your Leonin friend over there added on the bag, and then there was a discrepancy over who was going to pay what, and then I think in the end you just agreed to pay the 50% down.
Okay, and how much more is left over?
I believe it was only a flat 100 gold.
Hand over another... I'll just hand over 100 gold. No, just 100 gold because I have 100 gold, not 10 more.
So takes that, kind of fills out the paperwork and everything. There you go, the receipt. If there is any kind of damage to the armor, dear, we do have a warranty on the work, so feel free to bring it back if there's any sort of defect.
I've got some adjustment requirements.
Yes, of course. Is it too loose, too tight?
It's loose in some spots and tighter than the others. I don't think some of this is required. I mean...
Oh, well, that's fine. She kind of is like looking around for a little bit. Athoria, see to it. And then one of like a girl kind of comes out from back. Yes, Mr. Serafina. Kind of pulls up stuff. Come on, I'll take the measurements. And Serafina's like,
we're basically making it more of a crop top, because I don't need armor protection basically anywhere. But I just want to in the event that I were to change, I want privacy. I don't really care about protection. Same thing with
It's
the-
fine. It's Aria is just one of the. She's my actual help in terms of in the enchanting process. So since we have to kind of modify the spell work after it's been done, she's really just the best to handle that. As for that, I'll have your orders handed off to Elias here, and he'll handle the actual work in that regard. And, well, if there is anything else I can do for you.
That should be it.
All right. Well, if that's all, then I suppose I'll see you here in 3 days' time.
Great. All right. So Yandre will, just as quickly as he came in, walk right back up.
Yeah, walk out.
All right. So, anything we need to do?
Besides mentally prepare for traveling? No.
Cold ass winter coming up.
Well, yes. Harsh. So I would say we go back to the manor and finalize hashing out where all of the goblins are going to stay officially, and I guess make some additional plans for whatever changes we need to make.
And whenever we get back to base, Caitlin's going to give Yandre 50 gold for the university.
Thank you.
That's what it was, right? 50 gold?
Yeah, 50 per cloak. Great. Well, I'm gonna go to my room and think about what decisions I've made in the last couple of days.
Okay.
I think you're muted, Red.
I was talking to myself. I was saying, what the fuck does that mean?
Just chill,
He was-
Gorbecks.
Yeah, he was listening in on your conversation.
Hey,
All right, what else you guys doing?
I talk with Gorbecks.
Let's have a conversation.
Pausing on, like you guys are leaving the Sterling district. There's a long set of staircase that leads back down into the commons. You guys are pausing on the staircase.
Yeah, that's where we have our conversations at, mostly. Or we can have it at
Of
the
course.
staircase at home.
Yeah, just saying. If you guys want to have the conversation on the way back, there's a staircase you guys can pause at to have the conversation.
Our travel is dictated by stairways, even when we don't need them. That's why it takes twice as long.
Yes, all conversation must occur whilst climbing up or down a staircase.
Gorbecks.
That would be an awesome guess. For
Yes,
you. All right.
is all.
Fair warning. In what might be 4 days from now, I may go crazy and try to kill you.
Excuse me? Huh?
During one of our things, I may have contracted a curse that has not taken effect, which might make me go crazy and try to kill people. But we don't know yet, so
I'm starting to second guess whether or not I should have stuck around.
too late. You made your decision.
You signed the paperwork.
We spit on our
You've
hands.
already enrolled the goblins in the local elementary school. You're stuck.
Do you know what a lycanthrope is?
Yes. Are have you
I was.
come in contact?
We were fighting some transmutation wizards in a defunct sect of some wizards, and I got bit by a werebear. So, want to inform you, since you are now back, I like to divulge as much information as I can, and no secrets from me. There you go. So in 4 days' time, in the event that I transform into a giant murderous creature, you are warned ahead of time.
So if you No, never mind. We'll worry about it when we have to worry about it.
That's what I said.
And I will vigorously start writing things down.
Like, oh my god, it's happening. I finally get to become a lycanthrope.
Binary song.
Coming down with different ways to trick Izal into biting Gorbeck.
You want half of this sandwich? I need you to eat the first half. I don't know what you do.
Hopefully nothing horrible happens. And if it does, then, well, yeah.
From the research we've done, the werebear are the super aggressive and angry kind, but we don't know how the transformation might go. We technically missed the first and second chance when I could have potentially turned into a were creature due to Fey time shenanigans. So
I'm listening. I'm just trying to fix my camera.
I know. Put your face closer to your camera. Let it focus.
We got
on you.
light and everything. It was supposed to fix it.
I know. This is what I'm saying.
Put your hand on your face. You know what? I don't know what it is. Just get your face really close to your camera the next time.
Huh?
Look at it, tried to fix it.
I know. So
Anyway.
usually it has to.
So, Gorbeck.
Yeah,
I believe in not holding back vital information, so wanted to give that.
Well, if you decide to get nippy, I'll be there.
The idea is to not bite anybody. So, I mean, I remember who said it. I think it was Yandere. Like, I am very dangerous normally, and with a wear ability, it might make me even more dangerous to be around. So, Caleb said he took responsibility if something happens, and we've already armed with removing of curses and some silver. Not silver. What's the potion for it? Wolfsbane potion, all kinds of stuff to really F me over in the event that it's bad.
Okay. I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm not excited to die again in any time soon. So, but again, I don't think you're gonna. I don't want to die, and I don't think you're gonna kill me. So we'll just leave it at that.
It's good talk.
Yeah, good talk. Yeah, you look nice. Anyway, let's go.
Get back to the house. Hey guys, I told Gorbeck about the werebear thing.
Who else at the house?
Well, hold on. I think Izal was just waiting to say that in the privacy of the house versus being out in the street.
Yeah.
What thing?
Sounds about right. As we enter the house, Yandere, before he ends up going into his room, will actually turn to Izal and just be like, Izal, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
It might be a private matter if you would like to talk elsewhere.
Okay.
You guys walk through the front door and find the entry living room surprisingly clean, as if everything has just been kind of washed. And then as you're kind of like looking around, you see like a couple goblins in the process of like with wet rags like quickly wiping down like the floors and the walls and everything. And then you see Blah over like in one corner just going on some of the wood molting.
Just never mind. Let's ignore him. I think we should ignore him.
Sure.
All right. What's
Good
up,
old
Denver?
fashioned spit and polish.
Just spit.
And so I will lead Izal to the stairway, not to the third floor, but the stairway between the attic and the third floor. And I'm calling it the third floor just because we're taking into account that there's a basement.
But still,
Okay.
basement is 0.
Okay, well then the
Second floor.
second floor going into the attic, which would be
The upper
upper
living,
stair.
the stairway leading from the upper living quarters to the attic.
either way. And then I go to the stairway, and then I look at Izal and I ask her, "What is your real name?"
Why do you need to know?
I was informed that there is a specific enemy in the Court of Winter that when they attack you, they have the ability to make you utter your real name, and then they have power to kill you after hearing it. And I wanted to make sure that I had any sense of protection for you in case you get hurt. Being that you are normally the first person to run into battle, if we are to run into those enemies, you're probably going to get hurt. And I want to make sure that if you were to say your real name or true name, that I knew to react. And to be fair, every time you've said your name is Izal, I don't get the feeling that that's truly it. Now, the Zella part I do believe. It's kind of a feeling, but Izal doesn't have the same power.
It makes sense. My question is, what is considered a true name then? Because I look at down the stairway, like, we have a lot of conversation on these things. They're not very private, but I don't. Everyone else has like kind of heard this before.
Would you prefer to actually go into the attic?
Nah, I'm good. There's a demon up there anyway, playing pool.
That is true.
Yeah, my name is not Izal in the sense that it is not the name I was given. But as I've told Vorad, I've told Caleb, and I've told Gorbek. Not Gorbek, Gander. Izal is a name that is a sacred name to the Zealous. It's one that has power in its own right. It's typically one that you don't. No, there's no one who's ever been named Izal at birth. It's one that you have to earn, or it's one that's given to you later. In that sense, I took the name Izal because that is what I aspired to be. So, in essence, what is a true name? I mean, we we've heard it before, is that it's if you go by it enough times, if you refer to it by yourself enough times, if it's what you use, then that would be the name you are. There's only a handful of people who do know the name that I would have been born by. So which one is the true name?
Well, I will remind you that, yes, here in the Prime material, the chosen name or the name that you choose to go by is incredibly important, as it is in the Fae. But your true name is your birth name, the one that was given to you and delegated to you at that point. Things can change and you can identify as anything really as you want, but the name that has power in the Fae is the one that was directly passed down.
Then I can't tell you what it is because I've already told it to someone else as a secret.
You've already told it to someone else?
Right. And in order for you to find out, you're going to have to ask them.
And who is this person?
This would be the Akari God of Secrets.
Sorry, you cut out on that last one. The Akari God of what?
Secrets.
Oh. Homeboy's girlfriend? That's me out of character.
It's the only time I've ever uttered that name
Mr. Morgan?
was to Morgan in order for our group to pass by a hidden area. So they're the only ones who know the secret. If I tell you that, it kind of goes against telling a secret that is valuable to them. So you're going to have to ask them. In order to ask them, you're going to probably have to have Caleb do a ritual for it.
Understood.
But if they think it's worth protecting Caleb, then they'll tell you the secret.
Understood.
I'm sorry, I cannot tell you the name.
You don't have to apologize to me. You made a pact and a deal with a god, and I can understand that. I will simply ask myself. But you are okay with me knowing the name should they deem it appropriate.
Yeah, I consider you a friend. We made that pact ourselves, but this was made beforehand.
Understood. Well, that was it. I do hope you like your outfit. I understand that it is not something that you normally would wear, but I thought it would be a nice gesture to make sure that you are comfortable should something else happen.
I'm excited to see what it looks like when I get, if I get big, see what it covers up.
I will reiterate, I am not incredibly excited to see you turn into like a werebear, but I do want you to at least be dressed and not naked.
I'm excited for the unknown. I'm gonna go upstairs and flip the billiards table. So I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. And I have a conversation I have to have with Caleb now. But I will leave that up to everybody else.
You just hear 8 balls hit the ground at the top of the ceiling. Still out in here.
Oh, that was it. I would go back downstairs.
So, I think it's good if we just call it right here for chapter 109. And then next week, on next Tuesday, when we come back for chapter 110, we'll see just what that conversation is going to be. And does that mean Caleb's got to do another ritual? Or I guess at this point, do you just call it a date? I don't know. Booty call? I don't know. We got we got to figure out what it's called. But let's see. If I'm not mistaken, and though I often am, we have another Adjacent with Jace this week on Thursday.
That's because it's the first Thursday of the month. That's right.
Yeah,
Adjacent with Jace.
just barely.
Maybe 2 weeks in a row unless something comes up. Who knows?
Who is supposed to be there this week?
We had some scheduling issues last week, but with Bevo back, I asked him if he could spot fill and come on this Thursday because we never get Bevo on, and I like having to have him come on and ruin his schedule.
That's true. It's been a long time since you've had Bevo on. So, it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing.
Surprise
But
guest Bevo.
whether it is good or bad, it will certainly be interesting.
What game do I have set up for him to make him feel awkward?
Well, I voted Jeopardy and you said no.
If you just want to see
I just
someone-
wanted everyone else to know my pain.
We'll do that for. That's more of a Kilmo and Ari type. Ari or Aaron one. People who
Yeah,
know.
I is dumb when it comes to that stuff.
To quote Bevo, it's not my job to know what my character does. And as anyone who's DM'd Eric knows, damn, that's kind of true for him too. See you this Thursday, everyone, for Adjacent with Jason, 8 o'clock, and next Tuesday
Call me out.
for the return of Adventures in Athoria.
Yeah, well,
Episode
yeah, it's
110.
not necessarily return, it's the continuation. We'll have another chapter.
Good
Bye.
night, everyone.
Bye.
I know this
Good
happened.
night, everyone.